That's Austin Wilson, Robert E. Lee's fine senior defensive end, make that linebacker who will be a big part of tonight's game, and he's got a tough chore trying to stop this DeSoto offense.
Well, it's a high-powered offense. Again, the best offense in the district for the key, the key for Lee is to keep that offense, if they can, on the sideline. That means Lee is going to have to be better on third down offensively. They're just converting 30% on third down, which is up from 20% a week ago. So they've got to do well offensively to have a chance to win tonight.
And 55% on defense. They need to do better on that number. Gene Malloy is our referee tonight. Jeff Woods down on the field, and we'll get the reenactment of the coin toss.
Raiders, number 7, Chad Reese. Number 18, Gilbert Sutton. Number 73, Derek Dunn. And number 84, Jacob.
Robert E. Lee captains are Derek Dunn.
I'll be your referee this evening. Mr. Reckley over there is our umpire, and our co-officials on the side. Want to have a good game. This is a district game. Play hard, hit them hard, reach down and help them up, and we'll go again. I like to have good sportsmanship on my side, okay? That's what we want to see. That's the coin, that's the head, that's the tail, that's the tail, that's the head. I flipped it in the air, and you called it, and you said it was a head. It is a head. Your choice, and you're going to receive, right? All right? He's going to receive, and you're going to defend the clock over here. Put your back around over here, and you're over here.
So DeSoto wants the ball first. Given their numbers, you can't blame them.
That's exactly right. They want to do what they've done all season. That set the tone with their offense. Again, the best offense in the district.
Jeff, this is a very talented DeSoto football team that Robert E. Lee's up against tonight. They have 9 Division I players. Evan Washington, their big offensive tackle, verbally committed already to LSU, and wide receiver Darius Terrell already knows he's headed to Texas.
Yeah, and Coach Owens, for those reasons, and obviously the offensive firepower and being a nationally ranked team like DeSoto is, like Coach Owens said this week several times, was quoted as saying we have to play a near perfect game in every aspect of the game. And I think he said in the paper in Chris Perry's article, we have to execute perfectly carrying the water bottles out. So, a tough test tonight, but what a big win this would be to really vault things in a positive manner the rest of the way.
DeSoto comes in 5-1 overall. They lost to Cedar Hill on national television the first week of the season, but since then they have rolled through Plano. Beat Richardson Berkner 13-10, scored 64 on Duncanville, 56 on Flower Mound, 48 on North Mesquite. Robert E. Lee, though, 1-0 in the district after beating Mesquite 45-30 last week. So a battle of undefeated teams in District 11 5A play. And Robert E. Lee again doing some adjusting on defense. Will set that defensive unit with Patrick Howard out. Ubong David will start at defensive end. Akeem Holly in the middle and Josh Williams at the other end. With Blake Roberts out with a concussion, Damian Morgan moves to the weak side backer position. Austin Wilson and John Paul Camp are the linebackers. Gilbert Sutton, Cortland Browning the cornerbacks. The new rover is LaDarryl Smith. Marvin Gray is the free safety. Ball's teed up, and it's on the way, and this game is underway. DeSoto moving right to left. Kickoff taken at about the 18-yard line, and the return man slips down. That's Eddie Vincent at about the 26-yard line. Offensively for this DeSoto team, Ryan Polite, their junior quarterback, has posted huge numbers this year, already about 2,300 yards, 22-23, leads the district in passing. Marcus Murphy is their fine running back. He's headed somewhere next year. Second in the district, 660 yards and 11 touchdowns. David Porter and Darius Terrell are the wide receivers. Terrell leads the district with 37 catches. Porter is third with 28. Sam Ajala is also a receiver, and we'll set the rest of it in a moment. First down from the 27. They put a man in motion, hand the ball off to Terrell going to the right side, and he is tackled after a short gain by the Red Raiders over there in the corner. One of the guys who got him on the edge was Austin Wilson after about a 1-yard gain. Antoine Jimerson plays one of the R-back positions, or one of the slot receivers. Austin Vincent and Devin Rushing also will play slots and or J-backs, depending on what formation they use. Evan Washington and Marcus Hutchins are the tackles. Raymond Bradley, Michael Francis, and Adrian Adams across the middle of their offensive line. On second down at about 9, they flip it out to the far side. The pass completed in front of the DeSoto bench at about the 36 to Darius Terrell, who's a 6'3", 205 pound target, and that's his 38th catch of the year. It'll be third down.
Well, they get him involved early, and it's exactly what you want to do as an offense. And Lee's opponents this season do a good job of taking advantage of that oversized cushion by the defensive backs.
Third down and 1, no huddle. They hand the ball off to Murphy, and he finds a gash up the middle for a first down out to about the 48-yard line. He picked up about 10 yards on that play, maybe 11, before he's taken down near midfield. Marcus Murphy's only 5'10", 170, but he had a 73-yard touchdown with 1:07 to go last year against Robert E. Lee. That was the difference in that football game at Desoto. Red Raiders lost it 27-22, a 73-yard touchdown. First down and 10. Here's Murphy again, right up the middle. Nice cutback, but a good open field tackle made by John Paul Camp at the Red Raider, near the Red Raider 47, depending on where they mark his forward progress. That is a gain of about 5.5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4 at the Robert E. Lee 46-yard line.
That's a good tackle by Camp. If he doesn't trip him up, he probably gets the first down. Still good yardage for Desoto.
Desoto in green and gold, green pants, gold helmets, white jerseys with the green numerals trimmed in black. Robert E. Lee with red pants, black jerseys, red helmets, red numerals trimmed in white, and a black tee trimmed in white on the side of their Robert E. Lee helmet. 10:44 left to play here in the first quarter, and we are scoreless. And already a break in the action for an injury over there. Yes, somebody, I think it's Marcus Murphy limping off the field over there. Not sure what that's about. But he's being tended to over there, so again, that was totally away from the play. Well, Murphy was tackled, but I didn't see him get hurt out there, did you? But he's taken to the side, and let's hope he's okay. It's 2nd down and 4. At least it appeared to be some kind of a minor injury. 2nd and 4 at the Robert E. Lee 46-yard line as Desoto goes right to left across your radio dial here in the opening quarter of play. Red Raiders use 3 down linemen and a stand-up end over there on the edge, and a shotgun one-back snap. They fake the handoff to Porter and hand the ball off to the backup tailback downfield for a first down to the 40-yard line. The number 2 guy is also pretty good. Antoine Jemerson, who plays several different positions, a 6-foot junior, picks up about 6 in the first down.
Yeah, they just got so many weapons offensively. Again, they throw it well, and they run it well also. So, again, a tough matchup defensively for Lee.
All right, so it's a first down at the Robert E. Lee 40-yard line as Desoto started at their own 26-yard line. Polite out of the shotgun, hands the ball. Jemerson again, cut back, huge hole right down the middle, down the hash to the 14-yard line before he is finally tackled by Marvin Gray. A touchdown-saving tackle for the Red Raiders, and it's first down at the Lee 14-yard line.
They're finding some success right between the tackles. They opened up the game with the end around. That did not work. They go right back between the tackles and start pounding the football, and they're having some success doing it.
Behind a big offensive line, 285, 300, 280, 250, and about 240 on a first down play. It's Jemerson again, and Jemerson goes at right tackle down to the 10. Stood up and then thrown back by several Red Raiders, among them Marvin White again, and Bryce Brawley, who's playing both ways. Brawley's playing offensively and defensively for the Red Raiders with the injury to Jimmy Landis a couple of weeks ago. At a gain of 6, 2nd down. Make that a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and about 5 at the Lee 9-yard line. Far hash, shotgun snap. Handoff, Jemerson gets around the first wave, and he'll score the touchdown easily. They laid one hand on him, but nobody else could wrap him up from 9 yards out. Desoto goes in quickly in a minute, make that 2 minutes and 20 seconds to take the lead.
Well, that's exactly why they want the football first. They set the tone offensively in just about every game, and they come down and push themselves into the end zone early against the Lee defense.
Antoine Jemerson from 9 yards out for the banged-up Marcus Murphy, capping a 74-yard touchdown drive. Manuel Contreras, a junior, has his extra point blocked. It's a 6-0 game, and the ball's loose and recovered at the 2-yard line. So it's 6-0 DeSoto here in the first quarter at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium on KTBB FM. Jeff, the DeSoto Eagles made that one look too easy, didn't they?
Yeah, surprisingly, we anticipated a lot of throwing, and they come out on that first drive and actually run the ball the majority of the plays. I believe they only attempted 2 passes that time. shows you what kind of quality athletes that DeSoto has. With Murphy sitting down, Jimerson comes in and carries the load. Something to be aware of the rest of the night for Lee.
6-0. The extra point was blocked. That was a 74-yard drive, a 9-yard touchdown run, and the kickoff is short to about the 19-yard line, taken by Robert E. Lee upfield in a wall of blockers out past the 40-yard line for Robert E. Lee's Hayden Tomlinson. So Robert E. Lee will take over, first down and 10 with good field position for their first drive. Again, with the Red Raiders, you see Luke Wagner and Chris Dinkins both at cornerback, depending on the situation. Dinkins also called a D-back. You'll see him at tailback. You'll see him in the slot as a wide receiver. Last week he had a huge game. Marquise Mosley is one of the other wide outs. You'll see Aaron Myers in the backfield, Aquinas Wallace, Tyler Huffstickler playing a wide receiver spot, Dennis Edwards, Zach Hightower a tight end. You'll see Carlos Garcia in the backfield some as well. And, of course, Day Brown, the tailback. On first down, they hand the ball off inside to Carlos Garcia, and not much available to him. Actually lost a half a yard. Day last week, after missing a couple of games, back now for 2 weeks, 14 carries, 88 yards. He's Robert E. Lee's fine senior. And a lot of it revolves around him when he is healthy, and he has been for the last 2 weeks. Robert E. Lee's offensive line, Derek Dunn and Thomas Lacey, the tackles. Bryce Brawley, Melvin Page, the guards, and Greg Holston, the center. We'll set this DeSoto defense for you. It's 2nd and 11 Red Raiders at their own 41-yard line. Dinkins this time at quarterback out of a shotgun. They put 4 wide receivers and a man in motion. Hand the ball off to Aaron Myers, and he's tripped up after a short gain of about 2 yards at near the 45-yard line. Delonte Askew and Byron Hudson are the defensive ends. Brandon Forge, Terrell Williams are the tackles, and Isaiah Shepard is the nose tackle. Zachary Orr is a D1 prospect, number 35 at linebacker. Alex Lyons is a sophomore on the other side. The corners, Adrian White, who's verbally committed to Texas already at one corner, and Trone Roberson on the other side. Marty Barrett and Eddie Vincent are the safeties. So 2 of these kids are going to Texas. Second, make that 3rd down and 9 at the 44-yard line. They put a man in motion, that is Mosley. This time it is Wagner with a play-action fake and a rollout. He's being chased, dumps it upfield, caught by Dinkins at the 49-yard line, but way short of the first down. Hard for that play to get a first down. It just wasn't designed to get much yardage downfield. It'll still be about 4 yards shy, and Robert E. Lee will have to punt.
Well, it's a little slow developing, and by the time he caught the football, Dinkins, he was already on the sideline and basically had to step out of bounds. And again, that's a 3rd and long situation. Lee cannot afford to find themselves in that position tonight.
4th and 4 with 8:06 to go here in the first quarter, and a 6-0 DeSoto lead as they bring Brady Jones, the district's leading punter, into the game. And Jones has been doing a fantastic job. He stands back at the 35-yard line. It's a good snap. Here comes the rush. A rugby punt, though, is high, and it is short. Not a good kick at all. It goes over the head of Red Raider head coach Mike Owens along the near sideline. That's not what the Red Raiders had in mind. Jones had a difficult time with that one, and it's out of bounds at about the 42-yard line, so great field position for DeSoto.
Yeah, just off the side of his foot, and great starting field position for DeSoto. Of course, they don't need the field position, the way they moved the football the first time they had it.
Okay, so it'll be a first down DeSoto. Again, they gashed the Red Raiders on a 74-yard drive in that first possession. Now they've got it near side the short side. Polite going no huddle, 3 wides, 1 back shotgun for the junior quarterback. Snap it to him, hand the football off and hit at the line of scrimmage after a short gain that time of about 2 yards is the ball carrier sophomore Devin Rushing. Rushing comes into play tonight as far as his running numbers at 194 yards. Jimerson before that last drive at 180, but he did a lot of the damage on that last scoring drive, and Murphy's still not in there. 2nd down and 8 at their own 44-yard line for DeSoto. 3 wide receivers. They throw a little bubble screen on the far side to Porter. Big guy takes it upfield and is knocked out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Chad Reese with a nice open field tackle out there. Porter still got 2 or 3 more yards on the play, but not before the Red Raiders got him out after a gain of about 4. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, pretty good reaction by the lead defense on that one. Good tackle by Chad Reese.
Reese, of course, a pretty good bandit linebacker He's played a number of positions. 3rd and 3, big play. This time it goes on the outside to Jimerson, and he has the first down on the edge. Jimerson gets across midfield and down near the 45-yard line. As they stretch the field that time with that little, would you call that a trap play? What would you call that?
Well, Jimerson got just enough of a block on the edge and just enough of the move at the end of the run to pick up the first down. He was actually stopped short but made enough of a move to get upfield to convert.
Yeah, not a trap play, but basically a sealed it off on the edge out there, so he's able to get outside and turn the corner for about a 5-yard gain. And it's a first down at the Red Raider inside the 46-yard line. Penalty flag down, and looks like an illegal substitution coming up here, probably against Desoto. Let's see, that or illegal procedures. False start against the guys wearing the green and white. Gold helmets for Desoto. And their coach, Claude Mathis, is in his 2nd year. These two teams tied for the district championship last year. At 3-2 in district play. First down at their own, right at the 50-yard line. First down and 15 for DeSoto. They hand the ball off going right. This is Porter. Turns it downfield, and he has a big gain to the Red Raider 35-yard line and what might be a first down. David Porter is a 5'10 junior. Last week against North Mesquite, 7 catches for 113 yards. And he has had some big games already this year, and he gives them a first down at the Red Raider near the 35-yard line.
Well, he got a great kick-out block by the running back, Devin Rushing. Knocked out the defensive back for Robert E. Lee and allowed him to get upfield for good yardage.
6:23 left to play in the opening quarter. It looks like they're going to actually measure briefly, but from up here it looked like a first down, but they're going to stretch the chains out just to make sure. Here, this is a Tyler-based, East Texas-based officiating crew headed by Gene Malloy. Stretch it out. It is a first down by half the length of the football. So, boy, so far DeSoto's had no trouble moving the ball, and that has to be of concern to Robert E. Lee because, again, these guys come in averaging 580 yards a game.
And John Tyler's pretty good, but they're still 100 yards on the season behind these guys. So it gives you an idea how good these guys are offensively.
Far hash, first down near the 35-yard line. DeSoto already up by a 6-0 count. They've got number 14 rushing in the backfield next to Polite. 2 receivers to the near side and 1 to the right. Back to pass. They rush 4. He throws it out to the near side, and that time it's Porter again. Makes a nice leaping catch at about the 27-yard line. He'll be about a yard short of the first down, but that's just a real simple 9-yard out route. And Porter, great hands out there. Both these guys, they got 2 pretty good receivers.
Well, they just got pretty good people on this side of the ball, and it's a crossing pattern to the left side of the formation, able to get free for good yardage.
So a 2nd and 1 at the Red Raider 28-yard line for this DeSoto team. They put rushing in motion. And back to pass Polite. He throws the fade down the far sideline looking for Terrell. He makes the catch. No, he's out of bounds. Right at about the 1-yard line, he goes up and makes the catch, battling with Cortland Browning, who had pretty good coverage. But remember, Terrell is 6'3", 205, but he just ran out of real estate on that side.
That's a good job by Browning to pin the receiver to the sideline and make it a tougher pass for the quarterback, just the way you design a good job by Cortland Browning.
Yeah, Cortland's 6'1", 188, and he's done a super job this year. He started out as the rover and has been moved to cornerback with the injury to Ben George. By the way, the rover tonight is LaDarrell Smith. He's just a sophomore. Here we go on a 3rd and 1. They hand the ball off to Jimerson. He bounces outside. It's close to a first down. I think he has it at the 25-yard line. Hit at the line of scrimmage, bounced outside, and then the tackle made down there by Chad Reese and by Damian Morgan. The Red Raiders again have LaDarrell Smith playing in the starting lineup tonight. LaDarrell is a sophomore defensive back making his first start from up here, and indeed it is a first down at the 24-yard line. So DeSoto just keeps grinding away. Far hash, 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the right. Handoff again, rushing, cuts outside. Oh, they still haven't tackled him, and there he goes at the 10. Inside the 10-yard line, and still not able to get him down until he gets to the 4-yard line. The Red Raiders had to surround him before they finally brought him to the ground. Among the guys in on the tackle for Robert E. Lee appeared to be Red Raider number 24, Dennis Edwards, on that play, and it'll be 1st and goal.
Well, a couple of good moves caused the defensive back for Robert E. Lee to get caught up inside. He bounced it outside and got upfield.
I'm sorry, Damian Morgan in on the tackle, so it'll be 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Far hash again. Handoff. Jimerson hit at the line of scrimmage, and the Red Raiders knock him back. Good surge by Hakeem Ahali, the nose tackle for Robert E. Lee. Cleaned up by Austin Wilson. Also in on the stop, Marvin Gray, 2nd and go.
Yeah, much better job by the guys up front, taking a pounding early in this ball game, but that offensive line of DeSoto was pretty big.
DeSoto goes no huddle, of course, and Polite always in that shotgun. He has Jimerson make that rushing in the backfield next to him, and 2 wide receivers. One of them is Sam Ajala, who hasn't touched the ball yet. He's split wide to the left. Here comes the blitz, and there goes Polite. He's hit at the 1, spins, scores. Oh, they had him at the 2, then the 1-yard line. He spun out of that and scores the touchdown.
Well, and all of their ball carriers so far have proven to be tough to tackle. Robert E. Lee is going to have to wrap these guys up. Again, a lot of weapons on offense for DeSoto.
Jeff, they just were not able to get any field position. Then a short punt and a short field to work with. That's tough.
Yeah, and you start letting a team like DeSoto, who's got such a high-powered offense through the air, you start letting these guys run the ball at will, you're going to have lots of problems the rest of the night.
And here comes the extra point. Contreras had the last one blocked. Snaps a little high. This one, though, is up and through. And with 4:24 to go in the first quarter, it's Robert E. Lee trailing DeSoto 13-0 on KTBB FM. That drive, 58 yards, consumed 3 minutes and 42 seconds. 13-0 DeSoto. Polite, the quarterback, not so polite to the Red Raiders on a 4-yard touchdown run. And so Robert E. Lee in a hole right now as they kick the ball off right down the middle on the bounce. It's picked up by Hayden Tomlinson. He can run. He's upfield to the 31, and it comes to a pretty quick end there. Pretty good open field tackle made that time by Neiman Nichols. So Robert E. Lee will start first down and 10 at about the 31-yard line with 4:18 to go in the quarter.
Well, again, we talked about it in pregame. Lee is going to have to convert on 3rd down. They were not able to do it the last time they had the football. DeSoto marches right down the field and scores. Got to convert on 3rd down and keep that offensive DeSoto on the sideline.
Lee hasn't played very well from behind this year either, and so already down 13-0. We'll see what they look kind of dead right now, but again, DeSoto can make you look bad. Wagner is under center this time, out of an I formation with a slot right this time. He'll hand the football off, and this is Day-Day Brown first touch, and Day-Day gets hit hard at the 31-yard line and knocked back by Askew, the 6'2 junior defensive end. No gain, 2nd and 10.
And Red Raiders not able to run the football early in this ball game. Good penetration. Again, DeSoto is big up front on both sides of the ball and just imposing their will early in this ball game.
Their head coach, Claude Mathis, came from Austin LBJ High School, where he had some success there. And it's a 2nd and 10 for the Red Raiders at about the 31. Greg Holst in the center, preparing to snap it to Dinkins this time. Out of the shotgun, snap to Dinkins. Big game last week. He's going to run here and run right into a wall, get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Blocks just weren't there. And rough going right now. Terrell Williams, the senior defensive tackle, in on that one. They actually lost a half a yard. 3rd and long, which is not where they want to be.
Yeah, again, another 3rd and long situation. To me and Jeff talked about this in pregame. What scared me about DeSoto's defense is they have a lot more speed defensively than Mesquite did had a week ago, and so it's going to be a little tougher to run against it.
Again, remember their cornerback, Adrian White, a 4.3 sprinter, headed to UT, and Tron Roberson on the other side is another Division I caliber football player. So we'll see what the Red Raiders come up with on a 3rd down and about 10.5. Ball just outside the 30. They've got Dinkins at quarterback, and whistles blow, and DeSoto calls timeout. 2:49 to go here in the opening quarter. DeSoto leads it 13-0 on KTBB FM. Red Raiders face a 3rd and long. They're down 13-0 first quarter here at the stadium, and they fake the handoff to Day-Day Brown. Dinkins out of the shotgun, throwing on the run, and incomplete upfield to the 35-yard line. That pass was short of the mark, intended for Henry McEwen, a senior H-back / tight end, but Dinkins just had no time to do anything but run for his life that time.
He was lucky to get the football off. He had 3 in pursuit, and they almost got to him. He dumped the football off in time, but because of the rush, it was a bad pass, and again, Lee will be forced to punt.
Red Raiders 3 and out twice, and with 2:42 to go in the quarter, no recipe for beating this team. You got to play keep away against this powerful DeSoto offense, and so Brady Jones, who had a difficult time punting the last time, had a short kick, trying to do better this time out of that rugby punt formation. Here comes the rush. This time, Brady gets a better kickoff. It'll fly to the left and be fair caught at the 31-yard line. And so it'll be first down and 10 for Desoto at that point on the return. Eddie Vincent calling the fair catch at the 31, and there's a penalty flag, 2 penalty flags, back upfield at about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, late penalty flag, so we'll get the call here.
They're going to get Desoto for a very late hit personal foul.
Well, that helps, and Lee they'll take any help they can get right now. Again, field position has not been a problem with Desoto, able to move the football at will up to this point.
Lee plays Mesquite Horn next Friday night. 2 weeks from tonight here at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium, it's John Tyler. And then a road game to North Mesquite for the Red Raiders, and that'll wrap up the regular season. They hope to win a couple of these district games and get one of those playoff spots. That's a personal foul that will take DeSoto all the way back to the 16-yard line.
An early score on the John Tyler game, up 7-0 against Mesquite tonight.
Not surprised by that at all. 2:34 left to go here in the opening quarter, and it is DeSoto leading at 13-0. They're 2 for 2 on touchdown drives. Red Raiders need to get these guys off the field. Polite with 3 wide receivers, bubble screen to the right, and there goes Darius Taylor picking his way upfield out to the 23-yard line near the 24 for a gain of about 7 yards on that little first down. He's so big. Last week, 5 for 175 through the air against North Mesquite. A couple of weeks ago, in a game against Flower Mound, he had 17, count them, 17 catches.
Well,
That's
a whole lot of catches. Lee appeared to have that one pretty well played, but he's still able to get good yardage on first down.
To the 24, really right at an 8-yard gain, second down. Red Raiders blitz, handoff coming right up the middle. This is a first down, but a short gain for the sophomore running back, Devin Rushing. But it does appear, depending on where they mark it, that he has enough for a first down, and indeed he does, at about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, they're just finding success right between the tackles, this time right over center. Again, big up front, and it's working to their advantage.
Under 2 minutes to go in the quarter. It's been all DeSoto so far. Robert Ely not able to get him off the field defensively, nor move the ball offensively. First down, far hash. Polite hands the ball off to Jimerson out of the shotgun, and he's buried at the 26. Surge by Chad Reese that time by Austin Wilson, who also got a little bit of that action, and others for Robert Ely, a loss on the play.
Well, great play by Wilson and Chad Reese, and anytime there's a hard hit by the lead defense, Chad Reese is involved. Great job on that play.
Second down at about 11. Cortland Browning also around the ball. Those are 3 names you hear a lot. Again, the Red Raiders missing 3 starters. Blake Roberts out, Patrick Howard out, Ben George out with various injuries. Second down, roll out, Polite. Has room, has time. Porter on the swing on the little out route is upfield to about the 31-yard line and bounced out of bounds in front of the Robert E. Lee bench. He got the lost yardage back plus about 3 more, so it'll be 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Still pretty well played right there by Lee's defensive backfield. Kept them to a minimal gain. It's 3rd and long situation.
About 5 to go in the quarter, and so far the DeSoto Eagles have not failed. Robert E. Lee this year, as we said earlier, giving up 55% on 3rd downs, and that's too high for a contending team. They need to get that number down considerably. 3 receivers make that 2 to the right, and Terrell lined up in a slot. 2 receivers to the near side on 3rd and 7 at the 31-yard line. Back to pass against a 3-man rush. Flushed out of the pocket, Polite throws upfield and underthrows his intended receiver, Darius Terrell, at midfield. Chad Reese, the closest Red Raider, but finally the Red Raider defense forces a punting situation on a 4th down and 7.
Well, that's good coverage, forced him out of the pocket. That's a great job by the lead defense. They had to have this series, and they got it. Good job defensively.
So they finally get these guys off the field, and hopefully will give their offense a little bit more room to work as the DeSoto Eagles drop back into punt formation. Their punter, by the way, is Matt Flores, a senior defensive end who stands back at about the 18-yard line. He's the biggest punter I've seen recently, big stocky kid, and he'll kick it away to Robert E. Lee. And not much of a rush. He's a left-footed punter, and that thing spins out of there wickedly and almost hit a Red Raider. The thing will roll dead at about the 27-yard line. Probably could have rolled more. Jimerson down that one maybe a little too soon. Robert E. Lee will get it at the 28-yard line.
Well, another opportunity to make something happen. Again, third downs have been killing the Red Raiders this season, and they have not converted up to this point.
So under a minute to go in the quarter, and again, a 9-yard touchdown run by Jemerson, a 4-yard scamper by Polite, and a 13-0 DeSoto lead. Robert E. Lee's third possession. They have yet to make a first down. And they roll out there with Day Brown in the backfield and Wagner under center, and two receivers split to the left. Zach Hightower in as a tight end, and in motion goes Chris Dinkins. Here's Day, hit at the line of scrimmage, spins again, and gets some yardage to the 32. Day Brown winds up picking up 4 yards, really on a play that was going to get him only one. So what he got out of that, he pretty much made himself. Second down 6.
Yeah, not a whole lot of room to work with so far tonight for the Lee rushing attack, and great job by Brown to spin off and get positive yardage. He was hit the line of scrimmage and probably should have lost a yard. Good job by Day Brown.
Winding down the first quarter, Robert E. Lee has time to run one more play, and that will most likely wrap up the quarter. Second down and 6. Just outside the 31-yard line with 11 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. Double slots for Robert E. Lee and a tight end lined up on the right. They put Dinkins in motion. Wagner takes the snap. They pitch it. Day Brown hands it back to Dinkins. He's looking to throw downfield. He does, and Marquise Mosley slips down at the 32-yard line, screaming for a penalty flag that he did not get. And the first quarter comes to an end. Robert E. Lee hoping to get much better in the second. They trail DeSoto 13-0 on KTBB FM. Second quarter here at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. Robert E. Lee trailing 13-0. DeSoto dominated the first quarter of play. Robert E. Lee facing a 3rd down and 6 as they go right to left here in the quarter from the far hash. This time Wagner is under center, and they have an offset backfield with 3 wide receivers. DeSoto playing with a 3-man line and 2 stand-up ends. And Wagner, who's 1-for-1 passing, is going to run a draw play this time, and Brown gets about 4, but not enough for the first down. He's out to the 36-yard line, swarmed under after a short gain. The Red Raiders are going to come up a little short again, and on a 4th down and 1.5, even down 13-0. That's not what they really want to try to accomplish here. They're going to punt the ball.
Yeah, again, it's another 3rd and long situation. That's been the way every time they've had the football, and it's tough to convert 3rd long situations, not able to do it once again.
So as we start the second quarter, Brady Jones for the 3rd time. First punt was way shorter than he'd hoped. Second one much better. And Brady, who is the district's leader in that category, stands back at about the 22-yard line to kick it away. Good snap. Comes the rush. He's going to rugby punt this thing to the right. It's an end-over-end kick that will be taken at the 32-yard line out to the 34 as Bryson Simon gets downfield to make that stop. The return man, Eddie Vincent, caught the ball on the run. And that Simon kid making a good play downfield.
Outstanding tackle by Bryson Simon. Stayed in his lane and was able to bring down. First guy on the scene makes the tackle. Good job by Simon.
So he won't have to walk home tonight, right?
He won't. One of the few times.
Actually, he'll get to ride home on the bus, right? All right, so Bryson makes a nice play, and DeSoto at their own 33-yard line will start this drive, again going left to right. They scored touchdowns on their first 2, and this time they go left to right. They punted the last time out. They have 5 wides this time and an empty backfield shotgun against the Robert E. Lee 3-man line. The Red Raiders put in an extra DB and hand the ball Jemerson upfield. He turns the corner, and there's a flag down for a probable holding call thrown by the referee, Gene Malloy, as Jemerson gets out to the 40-yard line, picks up 7. But I'm guessing that this is going to come back. That's exactly what it is. Malloy's holding penalty will wipe out that 7-yard gain and take the DeSoto Eagles back 10 yards. DeSoto, again, 5-1 coming in, 44 points a game on the season. Their only loss coming the first night of the season at Cedar Hill. Actually, it was a Thursday night game. It was on television. They lost to Cedar Hill 44-41 in a shootout. Beat Plano 45-15. Richardson-Berkner, they won only 13-10. Demolished Duncanville 64-23. Hung 56 on Flower Mound and 48 on North Mesquite last week. It's a 1st and 20, just a minute into the second quarter. Out of the shotgun again, an empty backfield, 5-receiver formation. Jemerson goes in motion. Polite throws it to Darius Terrell on that out route again. He makes the catch, and the big kid gets up to the 30. Gets about 7 of that 10 yards lost on the penalty back before he's driven out of bounds. by Chad Reese in front of the Robert E. Lee bench at the 30. So it's third down. Make that second down and 13 for DeSoto.
A good reaction once again by the Lee defensive backfield, kept him to a minimal gain.
Near hash and one back this time. Jemerson standing next to Polite, who's going to run it himself. He prefers to throw it, but can run it, and he'll be upfield to the 35 before he gets an elbow by Cortland Browning right in front of the Robert E. Lee bench. Jerry Reed, one of the Red Raiders assistant coaches, advises him not to do that again after the kid runs out of bounds. But it was a nice play by Browning, and it'll be a gain of 4. It'll be third down and about 8.5 coming up for DeSoto at the 35.
A good discipline by the Lee defense that time. Didn't bite on the play fake, stayed in place to make the play.
Again, the Red Raiders are playing with 3 down linemen and an extra DB as the Polite rolls out, throws the ball to the far side. This time it's completed upfield, and Terrell has the first down. He caught it at the 40 and then spun forward, and he is a big guy. Make that David Porter. Porter, number 17, with the play. And he has the first down out to the 45-yard line.
Well, it's that one good move again. Just made the one good move to get upfield for the first down. They had him stop short, but that one good move allowed him to move the sticks.
And so a 10-10 to go here in the quarter as we start the second period. Here the handoff to Jemerson, picking his way across midfield and downfield to the 42-yard line. Red Raiders not able to make the tackle upfield at the 45. And finally, Chad Reese gets him down at the 40 to 36-yard line. That is a gain of 17 yards and a first down.
Well, again, success right between the tackles. That's where they've been able to run the football. Lee having a tough time stopping it right there.
At the 36, DeSoto again 2 for 3 on touchdown drives already. They spread the field, and Polite out of the shotguns going deep. Downfield looking for Terrell. There's a little pushing down there, but a good play by Robert E. Lee's Cortland Browning as Terrell not able to catch up with that ball at about the 2-yard line. Browning standing him, staring him right in the eye, doing a good job on him.
Well, he did it again. He pinned the receiver to the sideline, made it a tough throw for the quarterback to make, and great job once again by Cortland.
All right, so it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line. DeSoto taking a shot. They put Porter to the left this time, and also in the football game is Austin Vincent. So 3 wide receivers to the left and 1 to the right. They've got a man in the slot, and Polite, the quarterback, back to pass. Throws that little bubble screen to Rushing, and he is tackled at the 41 for a loss of about 5. You can't do it much better than the Red Raiders did that time. And there's a penalty flag down, but what a very nice effort by Robert E. Lee's number 6, Umang David, the defensive end. Let's see what the flag's about.
Well, David read that play early and got in the backfield and made the play. Now we'll see what the penalty is all about.
Mike Owens is saying decline it, so it must be against DeSoto. That's going to be an illegal chop block against the DeSoto Eagles, so the Red Raiders will take the loss on that play, and that'll set them back. Or with the loss, that'll set them back an extra 5 yards and make it 3rd down and 15 at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, well played that time by Lee.
Now, if the Robert E. Lee, if they can get these guys off the field for the second straight time and the Red Raider offense can get it going against a fast DeSoto defense, this game has settled down a little bit now. They hope. 3rd and 15 at the 41-yard line. 4 wide, straight drop blitz coming. Polite downfield. He's got a man out there, but he overthrows the intended receiver, Sam Ajala, and it's 4th and 15. Ajala was open for a moment, and then the cornerback Gilbert Sutton closed on him pretty well. And Ajala was pinned to the sideline, and the pass was overthrown. It'll be 4th and 15 at the 41-yard line.
That's a big stop, obviously, by the Lee defense. Looks like they will go for it here on 4th and long. That's a lot of confidence in your offense.
That's all borders on arrogance, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're at the 41 on a 4th and 15. They're either going to quick kick it or go for it here. Let's see. Looks like they're going to quick kick this thing, and that's an end-over-end kick by the quarterback that'll bounce at the 16-yard line and take a sideways hop to the 14. So on 4th and 15, they snap it to the quarterback, and he just pooch kicks the thing downfield, and so Robert E. Lee will take over 86 yards away with 9:24 to go in the quarter.
And the Lee defense forcing back-to-back punts. Great job by Robert E. Lee. Now they need to get started going on offense.
So Robert E. Lee will take over near hash, and again Wagner and Dinkins splitting time at quarterback here, and the Red Raiders again still looking to get something going. I don't think the Red Raiders have a first down yet. I do not believe. So far they're 0 for 3 on their drives. And this time they're pinned back deep in their own territory with 9:24 to go. Wagner's this time under center. Red Raiders have a tight end to the right and 2 slots on the left, and Brown in the backfield. Fake the handoff, now hand the ball off to Dinkins, and there's a little bit of a hole upfield. Dinkins upended by Eddie Vincent at about the 22-yard line, but a nice gain of about 8 yards that time, depending on where they spot the football, by Chris Dinkins at the 21. Call that a gain of 7.
Well, they've got to get the football to Dinkins. The way he played a week ago, 178 yards rushing. Good job to get him the football. He turns it upfield and gets good yardage on first down.
Red Raiders send in some fresh troops. Aaron Myers comes into the game. Carlos Garcia is in there. Dinkins this time in at quarterback, and also out there is Brandon Ross, number 17. So it's a second down and about 3 for Robert E. Lee at the 21-yard line. Second quarter, they trail 13-0. 4 wide receiver, make that 4 wides and a slot right. They put Aaron Myers in motion and hand the ball off to the senior, and he's upfield, but there's a flag down. That would be a first down at the 30, at the 26-yard line, but there's a penalty flag over in front of the DeSoto bench along that far sideline that's going to be against Robert E. Lee, and will wipe out that Red Raider first down.
A tough break, again waiting on the call, and it looks like it will go against the Red Raiders. They cannot afford to make any mistakes in this ball game against the very good DeSoto Eagle football team, and that will go against the Red Raiders.
Well, that's what Mike Owens was saying. They had to play a perfect game, and they have not made that. Caleb, what's your last name again? Mentor. Caleb Minter's here in the booth. Caleb wants to be a sportscaster, right? Oh, he guesses? We'll try to talk him out of that.
Yeah, not since he heard us. He's changed his mind since he's been up here with us.
But Caleb's up here observing tonight, and we're on our best behavior, are we not?
We have. Not always, but we are now. Yeah.
Red Raiders lose some yardage on that. That'll take them back to the 16. It'll be 2nd and 8 with 8:20 to go here in the quarter. 2nd and 8 at the 16-yard line for Robert E. Lee. They send a receiver out to the right. They have a receiver to the left and an eye backfield this time with a tight end. Hand the ball off to Day-Day Brown, looking to bounce outside. There goes Day-Day to the 19, near the 19-yard line. Not enough for the first down. It'll be 3rd down. The Red Raiders will still need about 5, but a little positive yardage for Day-Day Brown, who had 1,000 yards rushing last year for Robert E. Lee, but his early injuries and just not quite able to generate. Still hasn't had a 100-yard rushing night yet. Still looking to kind of get on track. Kind of did last week with 88 yards on 14 carries and a touchdown against Mesquite. They need him to be good in these last 4 ball games. 3rd and 5 at about the 19-yard line. Far hash, Hayden Tomlinson in a slot left this time, and 2 receivers split to the far side of the field in a 1-back with Wagner under center. Long count this time. Dinkins in motion. Hand the ball off to Chris. He's got a little running room upfield, and there's a face mask after he gets the first down to the 26-yard line. Clearly grabbed Dinkins' face mask, and so the Red Raiders will not only get the first down, they're going to get 15 added onto that, so this will be their best offensive play of the night so far.
And their first down, big break for Robert E. Lee, doing a good job running to the outsides. A little tougher when they try to run between the tackles.
So the personal foul face mask against DeSoto will take it from the 26-yard line up to about the 41. And that's where Robert E. Lee will start, first down and 10. They still haven't crossed the 50. This is as close as they've been, but it does give Robert E. Lee much better field position. Trailing 13-0. Jimerson and Polite with first quarter touchdown runs for the DeSoto Eagles. Marcus Murphy injured early. Not sure what his status is, but he went on the first series. But DeSoto's a pretty deep team. First down, shotgun Dinkins. 1-back shotgun. They have 3 wide receivers. Day-Day Brown lined up as a wide receiver in motion. Dinkins fakes it to him, keeps it, and eats it at the 39-yard line. DeSoto having none of that. They were all over that play immediately, including number 33, Cord Shea, a junior linebacker. So it was a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11.
Again, a little tougher for the Red Raiders to run between the tackles. Most of their success coming around the outsides tonight so far.
Near the middle of the second quarter, and Robert E. Lee with 1 first down so far. Trying to get more. Mosley checks into the ball game. They send a receiver out wide to the right side this time. Mosley in a tighter formation to the near side. Offset backfield with Wagner at quarterback. Luke takes the snap, Bootleg, steps up, throws downfield, and overthrows the intended receiver. That was a catchable ball, almost intercepted. He put that one up with a little mustard on it. Colby Craddock went up for it but couldn't bring it down at the 45-yard line. That wasn't a bad pass, actually. No. That was a pretty good throw by Luke Wagner.
Well, I think the problem was Lee had two receivers about 5 yards apart, and that's normally not how you want to do it. Not a bad pass by Wagner, but once again, Lee is in a third and long situation.
So 3rd and 11, which has not been kind to Robert E. Lee so far tonight. Ball just inside the 40-yard line. Wagner, Dennis Edwards, Brandon Ross, number 17, Marquise Mosley. They send Edwards out to the right, Ross and Mosley to the near side. Wagner has Dinkins, check that Day Brown in an I formation as the tailback. Play action fake. They're trying to throw the screen pass. They do to Day at the 40, to the 50. Look out, 45, first down. That was an outstanding call on a 3rd and long, and even better execution to the DeSoto 44-yard line.
That has been Wagner's best play of the season, the screen play. He does a good job to hold on to it as long as he can and draw the defense to him before dropping it off. Well played, good job by Wagner.
And Day Brown does a good job of running it. When he gets to the outside and then gets into the open field with a little space, he's pretty good. And so it'll be a first down. The Red Raiders cross the 50 for the first time with 6:35 to go in the quarter. They're trailing 13-zip. Near hash, they go right to left. Offset backfield, 2 receivers split to the right and a tight end lined up left this time. Wagner takes the snap, hands the ball off, and Brown finds a little opening inside the 40-yard line at right tackle for about 5 more. So Day Brown and that offensive line starting to get it together a little bit. Dunn, Brawley, Holston, Page, Lacey, the listed starters, with Ladorfus Stripling also playing. Jimmy Landis was injured a couple of weeks ago. He's out for the year. They expect him back in fine shape next year, but right now he is out. For Robert E. Lee, into the game, Jacob Lane and Colby Craddock. Lane, a tight end. Mosley is in for Robert E. Lee, and on a 2nd down and 5 at the 39-yard line, Craddock splits wide to the right, Mosley to the left. Wagner, glove on his left hand, barehanded right side. Offset backfield, ball just to the left of the hash mark, and here's the handoff to Carlos Garcia, and he picks his way downfield to the 35. A little short of the first down for Garcia, the 5'11 senior, who had a touchdown run last week against Mesquite. It'll be 3rd and 1. That's a lot more manageable than 3rd and 11.
Well, and Red Raiders have finally gotten it going, and it's amazing what converting and picking up their first down of the night can do to an offense. They've been on the move ever since.
Red Raiders bring 4 new players into the game. They're doing a lot of subbing here. They've been Edwards and Ross. Aaron Myers is out there. Hayden Tomlinson. Wagner is there. Dinkins not in the game right now. They send a receiver out wide to the near side of the field on 3rd down and 1. Wagner, play action again. They're blitzing. He's wanting to throw the ball downfield, and it's intercepted. No, it's broken up. Oh, he had it, and then they had the ball actually broken up by Brandon Ross, who turned into a defender. Marty Barnett had the play at the 30-yard line, and Brandon Ross did a great job of stripping him of the football. It's 4th and 1 for Robert E. Lee.
Oh, the Red Raiders get a break there. Wagner missed Hayden Tomlinson, who was out on a corner route. He was wide open, nobody around him, but Wagner did not see him.
Red Raiders not going to punt here. They need points. They're going to go for it on a 4th and 1 at the 35-yard line. This is a big play in the football game here with 4:43 to go. Tyler Huffstickler split wide to the right side. They have a receiver to the left. Double tight ends. Wagner under center. He's going to try to quarterback sneak this thing, and that's going to be close. He's going to take it down to about the 34-yard line, and that is going to be very, very close. Kevin, I'm not sure. Jeff, what do you think?
Well, the official on the side here is marking. Looks right on the marker. I think he's got it.
Wagner didn't get a good push. He was initially stopped short, but was able to regroup and get a second push. We'll see if that got him the first down.
Man, I'll tell you what, that's one of those deals you can't eyeball from up here. Gene Malloy says, I can't even make that judgment. He's going to call the chains out there. And again, boy, Robert E. Lee needs this. They need some kind of points before halftime to feel like that they're making some progress in this game. With 4:48 to go in the second quarter, down 13-0. The chain gang is going to stretch it out here. And this is all important. The measure, Robert E. Lee gets it barely, but they get the first down. So the Red Raiders get a fresh set of downs. Quarterback sneak works. They needed about a yard. They got about a yard and 2 inches.
That second push by Wagner is what got the first down. Good job by the quarterback.
So Robert E. Lee keeps the drive alive at the 34-yard line and down 13 to zip. the Red Raiders get the correct players in the game. Zach Hightower comes in. Craddock stays in. Mosley is in the game. And Robert E. Lee will line up this time with a tight end right and a slot to the left this time. Henry McEwen, I believe that is, in a slot. And one back is Wagner goes under center this time on a first down. Hand the ball off to Aaron Myers. Myers downfield, and he cuts it to the 30-yard line and picks up yardage, was upended to the 29, about a 5-yard gain for Aaron Myers, who had that big game against Abilene when he had 168 yards rushing. He's one of the fastest guys on the team, and that time behind pretty good blocking on the left side, picks up 5 yards.
Well, that's a good cutback by Myers to get the 5 yards. That's good yardage on first down for Robert E. Lee.
Second quarter moving along pretty quickly here with under 4 minutes to go. Red Raiders trying to get points on the board here at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium on this Friday night. 13-0 in favor of DeSoto. Robert E. Lee with a second down and 5 at the 29-yard line. Denkins in a slot left. Wagner hands the ball off to him, and there's a hole. Now, they close it in a hurry, but that's close to a first down at the 24. When that play was first, when it started, it looked like Denkins had a big hole to the right, but DeSoto's pretty athletic, and they closed it rapidly. Terrell Williams in on that tackle. It'll still be 3rd and short.
Yeah, there was a big hole, but gives you an idea of the speed on the DeSoto defense to shut it down and stop him short of the first down. Well-executed play, well-designed.
But from up here, you could see it open up.
A big hole.
3rd down and less than a yard, though, and again, that's what Robert E. is looking for. 3rd and short, not 3rd and long. They bring Dennis Edwards out to the near side along with Mosley. Wagner under center. Red Raiders will use 2 tight ends, and they have a running back behind Wagner on a 3rd down. This time they're going to hand the ball off, and Aaron Myers is trying to cut outside. That's a first down to the 20-yard line. Myers picking his way left. And a pickup of right at 5 yards for Aaron Myers and a Red Raider first down.
Well, he finally found just enough room to turn it upfield and get a big Red Raider first down. If nothing else, they are shortened of half by converting and picking up first down.
It's a pretty good looking drive for Robert E. Lee. Huffstickler checks in. Also, Wagner comes to the sideline briefly for a word with the coaches. Ross is in. The Red Raiders using a lot of different players here. They're skill position guys, trying to touch the football, trying to mix it up a little bit. And they put a man in a slot left, Hayden Tomlinson off to the left from the near hash. Myers stays in at tailback. 2 receivers split right. First down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Inside handoff. Tomlinson, big hole, 15, 10, 5. He will score! Hayden Tomlinson, touchdown, Robert E. Lee.
Well, they got some great blocks along the way, the inside handoff, but a great cut by Tomlinson as well, got him free and into the end zone. That is a great drive by Robert E. Lee.
Jeff Tomlinson has some wheels, and that time, once he got going, they had no chance to catch him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of my favorites. We always talk about how when he's called on, he gets it done. You talk about a formula for success against DeSoto, the last 2 defensive series, lead defensive series stop, and then they follow up with a pounding drive here to score. This is exactly what you're looking for.
And here's Austin Sperry's extra point. It is good, and this is a new ball game. With 2:15 left to play in the second quarter. DeSoto's lead cut to 13-7 on KTBB-FM. A 20-yard touchdown run by Hayden Tomlinson, 13-7. Robert E. Lee finally gets on the board, and they do it impressively that time.
Well, that's a drive they had to have, and again, it's amazing what can happen once you convert a first down. They kept on going. Great job by Robert E. Lee.
2:15 to go in the first half, and Parker Lloyd with the kickoff, and the ball returned to the 40-yard line. Yes.
Hayden Tomlinson with the tackle. The ball will be spotted at the 39 of the Eagles, 1st and 10.
Robert E. Lee trailing 13-7 following Tomlinson's 20-yard touchdown run. Kickoff by Parker Lloyd, returned to the 39-yard line by DeSoto, and they start 1st down and 10. They've got 2 timeouts left, and they go left to right. Polite out of the shotgun, steps back, looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, has too much time, and finally dumps it upfield, and they knock the ball away from Darius Terrell. Great play by Cortland Browning, because Polite was just standing around back there waiting to throw to somebody. When he finally did, Cortland Browning closes on the ball and knocks it away.
That's a great job by their offensive line. Quarterback had plenty of time, but a better job by Lee's defensive backfield, as they did not allow a receiver to get open.
2:03 left to play here in the second quarter, and a second down and 10 for the DeSoto Eagles, wearing their green pants, white jerseys, and gold helmets. And from the 39-yard line, they go left to right. Again, Ryan Polite, their quarterback, came in with 2,200 yards passing already, leads the district in that category, and he's got some weapons. 4 wides this time, and Jimerson in the backfield. Snap, 3-man rush, handoff to Jimerson. Red Raiders close on him and knock him off his pins at about the 42-yard line. That's the kind of defense you have to play against these guys. 5 red helmets on the ball that time before Jimerson goes to the ground after about a 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Nice to see him swarm to the ball like that. About 5, 6, 7 guys in on the tackle. Tough run by the running back. Better job by Lee's defense.
At the 42-yard line, 3rd and 7. And again, the Red Raider defense, after giving up 2 touchdowns on the first 2 drives, here's a big 3rd down. Polite on the rollout this time, looking to throw, does downfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open at the 25-yard line, and this might be 6, 5, touchdown, Austin Vincent. Touchdown DeSoto from 68 yards. Make that 58 yards, no flags.
Well, that's just the blown coverage. They had 3 receivers lined up to the right side, and a lot of action to that side confused the defensive backfield of Robert E. Lee. They left the receiver wide open for the touchdown.
So Austin Vincent, 58 yards, and Robert E. Lee's touchdown drive erased rapidly. That took less than a minute. And DeSoto is up 20-7 with the extra point. Would they make that 19-7 with the extra point to come? Scoreboard's already put 20 up there. They still got to earn this one. They're going to go for 2, though, to try to get it to 21. And they put a tight formation out there from the 3-yard line, and looked like one of their guys might have moved. So this 2-point conversion may come from the 8-yard line if indeed they choose to do so. Evan Washington, their big LSU-bound offensive tackle, jumped that time. So that'll bring them back to the 8-yard line. If they choose to go for 2 here, they'll have to do it from the 8-yard line instead of the 3.
It looks like they will keep their offense out there and attempt the 2-point conversion.
So $1.18 to go here in the first half. Double slots. 1 back shotgun. They're going to try again. The Red Raiders blitz. Polite throws it downfield. It's caught. 2-point conversion. Oh, my goodness. Sam Ajala right in the middle that time scores the 2-point conversion, and it is 21-7 with 1:18 to go on KTBB FM. Red Raiders with a football at the 28-yard line, going right to left with 1:18 to go here in the first half. Shotgun snap, Luke Wagner back to pass. He steps up, he's hit as he throws upfield. He goes incomplete at the 39-yard line. For those of you watching the replay on cable television, we continue to broadcast while on KTBB FM there is an Amber Alert going on this Friday night, and are concerned certainly for that. We are, after all, a news station. 2nd down and 10 at the 28-yard line for Robert E. Lee. 21-7. DeSoto leads the football game here in the late part of the second quarter. The Red Raiders send a receiver out wide to the right side and Brandon Ross to the left. Slot left and a 1-back. Aaron Myers hand the ball off to Dinkins out of the slot. Dinkins has a little running room, and he's still on his feet, not wanting to go down out past the 35, out to the 37-yard line. Nice gain by Chris Dinkins. He got about the last 6 of that with second effort breaking tackles with under a minute to go here in the second quarter.
Well, he got most of that on his own after good cutback inside, but again, Dinkins is strong, tough to bring down. Saw a lot of that last week. We got a good look at it there.
3rd down and short for Robert E. Lee at the 36. Again, the Red Raiders have 3 timeouts left, but under 40 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. And they're not showing a whole lot of urgency here with 31 seconds left. Again, down 2 touchdowns following that 2-point conversion. 3rd down and 2. Luke Wagner from the 36-yard line. Hand the football off coming this way. Nice cut back by Aaron Myers. 1st down upfield to about the 43-yard line. And with 17 seconds left, now the Red Raiders are going to burn one of their timeouts. They trail 21-7 to DeSoto in the 2nd quarter on KTBB FM. Well, we thought that was a timeout.
Now it is a timeout.
And now it is a timeout. Robert E. Lee, we thought they'd taken a timeout. They did not. They line up, and as they are lining up, then DeSoto takes a timeout. So we'll tell you again as they wind down the 2nd quarter here, and the zero's up on the board. This may be an untimed play here. I guess DeSoto must have gotten the timeout call. Did they call that timeout?
They called a timeout, but
there's zeros up on the board.
Yeah, not sure what they
So we
got
may have
going.
an untimed play, or they'll have to put time back up on the clock. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, they're going to put time back up on the clock in a 21-7 ball game. It'll be a 1st down for the Red Raiders at the 42. A little surprised the Red Raiders didn't use their timeouts and when they got to the 40-yard line, but they chose not to. Try to regroup at halftime and get something done offensively in the 2nd half. They have moved the ball, though, the last 2 times they've touched it. 3 seconds back up on the clock, so this probably is the final play of the 1st half. Wagner under center, 2 wides, hand the ball off, and going right, this is LaQuintus Wallace, the freshman, I believe, across the 50, down to the 45-yard line. Yep, freshman LaQuintus Wallace with a gain. It's a 1st down, but it's halftime as Robert E. Lee trails this game 21-7 here at Trinity Mother Francis Rose Stadium. Jeff standing by with Mike Owens.
Coach Owens, obviously you're playing a very prolific offense. Your defense before that blown coverage there held them and made them punt and give the ball up. What are your feelings on the defense and how well you guys have adjusted?
Well, the defense has started playing pretty well. I mean, we kept them for a couple of 3-and-outs, and then so they're starting to play a little better. Other than that one they just gave up, which we can't do that before half and expect to win. But they're getting better, I think, at what they're doing. They're starting to see everything, and they're settling down and playing a little better right now.
Offensively, you got to be happy with finally getting a 1st down, then a grinding drive turning out to be a touchdown. Do you think you're going to see more of that in the 2nd half of some of that running success?
Yeah, I think that we've found a few little things there, and unless they just change drastically in the 2nd half, I think we're going to continue with some of that. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Coach Owens and the Red Raiders, again, feeling good about some things, not so good about others. Hated to give up that cheap touchdown right before halftime on that 58-yarder. Otherwise, after a tough start, pretty even football game.
Spectacular halftime show presented to you by the Robert E. Lee High School. We invite you to sit back tonight and enjoy the incredible Southern Belle Drill Team and the fabulous Red Raider Band. The officers are Captain Taylor Justice, Jillian Anderson, Jill Gecky, Morgan Hobson, Mackenzie Robinson, and Aaron Schamber. Bell Guards are Head Bell Guard Brendan Lane, David Hacking, Bailey Harden, Daniel McCorkle, Mason Nash, Garrison Patkala, and Kyle Schamberger. Managers are Tambrika Black, Shanice Kendrick, and Kirsten Robertson. Senior Sergeant is Audrey Ellis. Junior Sergeant is Amy Jovanovich. And now, the Southern Bells will perform their production routine to Celebration. And there they go, the award-winning Southern Bells. Your bells are directed by Sarah Ormsby and Lindsay Schaefer. Dancer of the Week is Michelle Stone. Spirit Girl of the Week is Kaylee Krause. The Bells would like to invite you to their free car wash tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Robert E. Lee, Coretta's, and Pelche by Mercados. And now, Robert E. Lee High School and the Tyler Independent School District proudly presents the pride of Robert E. Lee, the Red Raider Marching Band! The Robert E. Lee Band is under the field direction of head drum major Rachel Hilburn and assistants Jesse Rickman and Antonio Balciano. The Red Raider Marching Band will be performing their 2009 UIL show, Scenes from the City. Movement 1, Times Square. Movement 2, Broadway. Movement 3, the Statue of Liberty. Movement 4, New York Philharmonic.
back at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium, ready for the third quarter as DeSoto and Robert E. Lee hook up here. 21-7. DeSoto has the lead in this football game, and Robert E. Lee will have the ball first. This first drive of the third quarter is going to be very, very important.
It is. They need to get off to a good start offensively. Had a decent first half after they started out slowly, but a good opportunity here to get on track early.
My daughter Lanny is here, and with three friends, we got Kirsten, Lauren, and Elizabeth. And what do you girls want to say here? Huh?
Hey, let's go Raiders!
Okay, Lanny choked, but Kirsten managed to bring in, go Raiders. That's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
And well, your daughter's growing up. You better invest in a Louisville Slugger, big dog.
I guess so. I guess so. She couldn't think of anything to say, which is unusual for her, okay? All right, Jeff Wood, what do you think about the second half as far as keys for Robert E. Lee?
Well, not a lot's changed. You want to see the defensive stand. Other than the blown coverage, you want to see if this defensive play can continue, obviously, because of the offensive potential of DeSoto. And that ground game's got to continue offensively. I think if those two things happen, it should be a very interesting and competitive second half.
Michael Contreras will kick off. It's high and short and will be taken by Robert E. Lee. That's kind of a dangerous sliding catch there, but you got to do it. Brandon Ross making that catch at the 42 because that is a free ball. But that was a well-placed kick that Robert E. Lee fields, but they'll have good field position to start the third quarter.
Well, that's a great job by Ross to get up there and get that football and not let it hit the turf and allow DeSoto a shot at it. Good job by Ross. Now a great opportunity once again for Robert E. Lee. Great starting field position.
John Tyler had a 24-3 lead over Mesquite at the half at E.H. Hanby Stadium, where the Red Raiders will be next Friday night for the game against the Mesquite Horn team, the Jaguars. And so Robert E. Lee looking to have a second half rally here and maybe move on next week as they start the second half. Luke Wagner is under center. They go left to right across your dial. Far hash, one back, inside handoff to Dinkins, and he busts it upfield to the 50-yard line, across midfield to the 40. Dinkins running like he did last week to the 35-yard line. Picking up nice yardage downfield. That's a gain of about 18 on the first play of the third quarter for Chris Dinkins.
Well, that's a solid start to the second half for Robert E. Lee. Once again, they need to get going offensively and set the tone for the second half, and that's the way you want to do it with Chris Dinkins making a tough run.
And so Robert E. Lee will start at their own 35-yard line after making that play. So the Red Raiders get down to the 35. First play, 18 seconds into the third quarter, and Dinkins showing some of what he did last week against the Skeeters when he was involved in 5 touchdowns. Wagner from the far hash, slot right, 2 receivers split to the wide side of the field, and this time they hand the ball off to Aaron Myers, and he cannot get outside. The blocking just wasn't there, and he was buried under an avalanche of green and white that time, including Dex Green, a senior defensive tackle. Loss of about 4. It'll be second.
That's a lot of lost yardage on a handoff, but credit the big guys up front for DeSoto getting a good push.
And so on a second down and 14, the Red Raiders at their own at the DeSoto 39-yard line. Just a minute and 5 seconds into the third quarter. They're in DeSoto territory. Mosley splits wide to the left. Dennis Edwards to the right. From the near hash, they have a one back and a tight end and a play action by Wagner looking to throw the screen downfield. He completes it to Henry McEwen for a short gain on the play of about 5 yards. But again, he was under heavy pressure, and I don't think that's exactly what he had in mind. He had to hurry the throw, but good presence by Wagner to deliver that ball under the pressure that he was facing.
That's outstanding job by Wagner to get the football off. It's a tough pass, basically back across his body right in the middle of the football field. And a good job by the receiver, McEwen, to go down and get it.
He picked up 7. He got the 4 yards lost back plus 3 more, so it'll be 3rd and 7, Robert E. Lee. At the 32-yard line. They trail by 14 here early in the third. Wagner has Dinkins in a slot left and 2 receivers split right, including Tyler Huffstickler. One man in the backfield. On a third down, inside handoff, here comes Dinkins, and he doesn't have it. He picks up some yardage to the 29, but pretty good open field work that time by Delonte Askew and members of the DeSoto defense. 4th and 4 for the Red Raiders. When you're down 14, Austin Sperry has that kind of range, but I'm guessing they go for it here.
I don't know. They're lining up. They're huddling up at the sideline, and they are still discussing what they might do here, maybe a field goal attempt. But I think you're right. Looks like the offense is going to stay on the field.
Yeah, I do not see Austin Sperry, number 37, 4th down and about 4 at the 29-yard line. And so they apparently are going to go for it. Mosley to the left, Huffstickler to the right. Tight end lined up right, Jacob Lane, offset backfield. Luke Wagner fakes the handoff, looking to throw downfield. He has a man out there, but Garcia couldn't get it at the 16. Oh, that was a catchable ball. Garcia trying to climb the ladder to get it. He could not hang on. That was a first down, Red Raiders. That just didn't quite happen.
Well, that's a good pass by Wagner. Courts say the linebacker flashed in front of the receiver that time and disrupted him just enough, interrupted his vision long enough to cause that pass to fall to the ground. That's a great play by their linebacker.
So Desoto takes over at the 29. That again was a pretty good looking Robert E. Lee drive. But it stalls on a 4th down and 3, 4th and 4 at the 29, and DeSoto takes over. Handoff coming this way. There he goes upfield rushing, and he has about 15 yards out to the 44-yard line, sweep to the short side of the field. Gilbert Sutton makes the tackle, and he's still down, and the Red Raiders can't afford really too many more injuries on that side of the ball. Sutton's shaken up, he's up. And there's a penalty flag down at the 37-yard line.
There was a late penalty flag well after the ball carrier had passed the first down marker, so we'll get the call here.
Again, the scoreboard show coming up tonight at 10:30. Holding DeSoto, that'll wipe out the game. Or at least part of it, depending on where the hold actually occurred. Apparently not at the line of scrimmage, occurs downfield. So from the spot of the hold, it will not be a first down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a first down back at about the 27-yard line. So it's a 1st and 12 coming up for DeSoto.
Yeah, that's a bad break for DeSoto. Again, they were just about past the sticks when they got the holding call.
9 minutes left to play here in the third. As DeSoto with the ball at their own 27-yard line. Shotgun snap. Polite looks right, throws right, bounces the ball to Terrell across the way. Cortland Browning was bearing down on him. They've had a good battle going tonight. A pair of number 5s working against each other over on that far sideline. It'll be a 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, and that's good coverage by Cortland to make a good break on the ball. Bad pass by the quarterback.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 12. Back to pass, Polite looking again. This time he throws a slant upfield to Terrell. He makes the catch, and an excellent open field tackle on the edge over there by Chad Reese along with Cortland Browning. Terrell is a big guy to bring down, but they stood right there and made a nice open field tackle. It'll be 3rd and 5.
That's a great job, a good opportunity here. Obviously, they need to stop.
At the 34, 3rd and 5, Polite looking to throw to the near side of the field, does upfield and overthrows the intended receiver. At the 43-yard line, Marvin White with coverage, that time on Sam Ajala. Marvin Gray with the coverage, and you can't do it much better than that. The Red Raiders force what amounts to a 4-and-out, if you will. There was a penalty thrown in there on 1st down, but Robert E. Lee's defense doing a good job here since a tough start in this game.
That's an outstanding start in the second half of the Lee defense. The offense gets a second chance.
So the Red Raiders will be getting the football back, they hope, at somewhere around the 40-yard line. As the punt is high and short, it'll be way better than that. This is a high, short kick that'll bounce at the 47-yard line and take a Lee roll to midfield. A backspin on that horrible punt that time by Matt Flores, and the Red Raiders take over at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and Lee has got to take advantage of the great starting field position here. Got to get some points on the scoreboard.
8:14 to go in the third quarter after a bad punt, a good defensive effort by the Red Raiders. Lead down 14, playing tough with DeSoto right now. After a hard start, they fell behind 13-0. But it's been a pretty even match since that point. The Red Raiders now need to get some points on the board. Near side, the short side, I backfield. The handoff is to the up guy, Hayden Tomlinson, for about 2 to the 48-yard line. Behind pretty solid blocking that time. Again, Bryce Brawley, number 68, playing a little bit on both sides of the ball tonight. He is normally a backup nose tackle to Akeem Holly, playing a lot, even had an interception earlier this year. But with the injury to Jimmy Landis, Brawley's playing guard right now as well. And he's just a junior. Pretty handy guy to have around. 2nd down and 8 at the 48-yard line. They'll send Ross out wide to the left side. And Dinkins in a slot right. In fact, double slots this time. Aaron Myers in the game. Dinkins in motion. Fake the handoff, then hand it this way to Aaron Myers, and he's down the near sideline 30. They won't get him to the 10, 5, touchdown. Fake to Dinkins, hand it to Myers. He goes from 48, touchdown Red Raiders.
An outstanding execution and some great blocking along the way, and you got that kind of speed. Once you get into the secondary, you can basically forget about it. That's a great job by Lee's offense.
Aaron Myers, touchdown Red Raiders. It is 21-13.
What a big score for Robert E. Lee. Again, the defense did its job. The offense comes out and does its.
So Robert E. Lee is back in this football game in a big way that time on the 48-yard touchdown run with 7:21 to go. And the extra point would make it a 7-point ball game, and Austin Sperry nails it. 7:21 to go in the third. How about that? Red Raiders down 7. They trail 21-14 on KTBB FM. Aaron Myers goes 48 yards for the touchdown, 21-14. Now it's a ball game again. The Red Raiders were down at the half by 14. They counterpunch here, and that was very impressive.
Well, good start to the second half for Robert E. Lee.
Kickoff high and short taken at the 30-yard line upfield. This is Vincent, and he's out to the 41 2-yard line before he's tackled by Robert E. Lee's number 29, DeMarcus Turner. And so the Red Raiders send the defense back out there. Again, the last time they scored just before halftime, the DeSoto Eagles came right back with a quick strike. The Red Raiders certainly need to avoid that here in the third quarter. But very impressive. Jeff, what do you think?
Well, once the right side of that line sprung Myers, give him credit for 3 great individual moves to avoid tackles and get into the end zone.
7:15 to go, first down at the 42. Hand the ball off going right. This is David Porter around the end on a flanker sweep, and he's across the 50-yard line to the Robert E. Lee 48. That's a gain of right at 10 yards. Porter, again at 5'10", 180 pounds, has 3 100-yard receiving games this year. That time he carries the football for a 10-yard gain and a first down.
Yeah, obviously too much on first down allowed by Lee's defense.
So Lee down by a 21-14 count, but they need to get the ball back now and stop this DeSoto offense. Handoff coming this way. Antoine Jimerson. They grab him, Austin Wilson there to get him, and Jimerson just couldn't get away from Austin Wilson. The future University of Houston Cougar got some help at the end of that play, but that was all about Austin Wilson, who had an arm around the waist of Jimerson, and he picks up only a yard second down.
Yeah, great job once again by Lee's defense to get to the football, wrap him up, and allow just a short gain.
Out of the shotgun, far hash, 3 wide receivers and a 1-back shotgun. Snap the football, hand the ball off. This time Jimerson gets a gash, and he has the first down to the 36. They got him the first time, but that time off left tackle. He makes the play. Akeem Holly, number 62, in on the stop for Robert E. Lee, but it's a first down at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, well blocked and a good run by Jimerson. Once again, the leading rusher at the half, and Lee's got to do a better job against him.
Clock starts up again. We're almost midway through the third quarter with the Red Raiders down 7, but now DeSoto on the move again. 1-back shotgun, 2 wides, ball in the middle of the field is Jimerson again, and there he goes. Jimerson down inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. He picks up 8, and it'll be a second down and 2 at around the 28-yard line. Pretty good running, though. After a one-stop on Jimerson, he's come back behind that huge offensive line to pick up back-to-back runs, for one for a first down, another one here for about 7.
Yeah, again, too much yardage on first down.
Terrell split wide to the right side. They put a receiver out to the left. 1-back shotgun again. It's Jimerson steady died of number 22, and he's inside the 25 for another first down. Again, once you get past the first wave, the linebackers start closing, but by then, when the secondary gets involved, you're talking 7, 8, 9 yards at a clip, and that's not what they had in mind.
Well, and this drive is starting to look like DeSoto's opening drive when they went right downfield and Lee's defense had no answer.
First down at the 23-yard line. Here's the snap. Polite throws that little swing pass out to Porter, and Porter has it at the 20-yard line, but a very well-played open field tackle by Chad Reese after a gain of about 3.
Yeah, Reese had to run him down from behind. Great job by Chad to stick with the play and make the tackle.
So Chad Reese doing a good job over there for the Red Raiders. 2nd down and 7 inside the 20.
John Tyler, 21.
Here in the third quarter, the Red Raiders down 7, but DeSoto threatening again as they hand the ball off to Rushing, and Rushing inside the 20 runs into a Red Raider, make that 2 that time. John Paul Camp, the middle linebacker, and Josh Williams, number 41, among those on the stop. Pretty well played. It'll be a gain of about a yard, and it'll be a 3rd down and 6 coming up.
Yeah, another big 3rd down for Lee's defense. Again, allowing their opponents to convert 55% of the time. They've got to do a better job here.
You get the play call from the sideline out of that no huddle. This time an empty backfield with 4 wides. And a shotgun snap coming with a tight end, and they throw the slant, and it's dropped by Darius Terrell. That would have been a 1st down. But a well-played ball again. Chad Reese was close, but Terrell also had a chance to catch that ball and just couldn't hang on. It'll be 4th and 6. If you're DeSoto, what do you do now?
Well, it looks like they're going to keep their offense out there, and a quick slant route well played by Lee's defense. Had 2 guys in on the play. Good job. They have to do it one more time.
Yeah, if they can stop them here, I think that's a momentum-changing situation. Down 7, 4th and 6 at the Lee 19. Let's see what happens. Out of the shotgun, here we go. They spread the field with receivers. The Red Raiders show blitz. Here they come. Polite throws that little bubble screen to Terrell. He's tackled back at the 22-yard line. Williams, the first guy there, turned him inside, and the reinforcements arrived. How about Hakeem Holly, John Paul Camp, Marvin Gray, Eubong David? About 5 Red Raiders in on that 4th down stop. Robert E. Lee takes over.
Well, they bend but don't break. They give up some yardage, but they tightened up when they had to, and that's the best play of the night for the Lee defense. Another opportunity for their offense to go back to work.
4:45 to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Red Raiders down 7, hold DeSoto on a 4th down and 6 at the 19-yard line. They lose 3. Red Raiders take over at the 22-yard line. Luke Wagner under center. 2 wides. They have a tight end in the ball game. Slot left and a tailback behind Wagner. Going left to right here in the 3rd quarter as we wind it down. Wagner's going to hand the football off, and there's going to be a little running room upfield for about 4. Pretty good gain, actually, out to about the 26-yard line for Aaron Myers, who's played a very nice second half for the Red Raiders. He has that 58-yard, make that 48-yard touchdown run. Haven't seen much of Day-Day Brown. Haven't seen him at all here in the 3rd quarter, and I don't think he's injured. Jeff, you might check on that.
That's a good job by Myers on 1st down. That's good yardage. 4 yards down. The Red Raiders will take that every time.
Dennis Edwards split to the near side of the field, and slot left and a receiver split left. One back behind Vincent on a 2nd down play, and they'll hand the ball off coming this way to Chris Dinkins. Dinkins in some trouble, but Dinkins fighting for yards. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. He had to fight to get that sophomore linebacker Alex Lyons in on the tackle, but Dinkins had to really work just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's a good job by Dinkins, as you mentioned, just to get back to the line of scrimmage, proving once again to be tough to tackle.
3:40 left to play here in the 3rd. Hayden Tomlinson, Henry McEwen, Marquise Mosley check in. And Wagner gets the personnel grouping the coaches send in here, and with Myers and Tomlinson in the backfield, Dinkins not in there right now, it does not appear. And on a 3rd down and about 6 from the 26-yard line, let's see what the Red Raiders come up with here. Wagner, snap, bootleg, rollout. Looking to throw. Throws it back to Tomlinson. Caught at the 25. Upfield. 1st down, 35-yard line. Boy, I tell you what, Luke Wagner's done a really, really nice job to throw the screens. That time a little rollout. Throws back across the field. Tomlinson sort of gets lost in there and picks up a nice gain.
Well, that's a great job by Aaron Myers as well, who got the block that freed him. Allowed Tomlinson to get upfield. So as you mentioned, good job by the quarterback. Wagner seems to do a good job on those screens every time, but a great block by Myers as well.
Bill, quick update for you. Trainer Manny Jenkins tells me that Day-Day Brown has actually re-injured that ankle again. He's up walking around with it, but she does not expect him to return tonight.
And Myers doing a good job in his stead. When I say Tomlinson got lost in there, he wasn't lost. He sort of got lost in among all those DeSoto guys. They couldn't find him. He picks up 10. 1st down at the 36. Handoff going left. Here's the freshman LaQuintus Wallace. He cuts upfield, slips a bit, but his speed and his balance get him all the way out to about the 43-yard line for a gain of right at 7 yards on that 1st down carry. for freshman LaQuintus Wallace.
Well, and for a lot of the season, Robert E. Lee has been very good on first down. They were very good against Marcus on first down. The problem had been on second and third down. That's a great start for Lee's offense.
He's the first freshman running back since Tyrone Ross to play significant time for Robert E. Lee. And John Giles, a former tight end, also played as a freshman and was on the state championship team along with T.Y. Ross. And so it'll be a second down and 3. Wallace stays in. Now a timeout called by the Red Raiders. 2 minutes to go in the third. DeSoto leads at 21-14. We're back after this timeout. Second down and 3 in the third quarter. The Red Raiders hand the ball off to Dinkins out of the slot. Dinkins for about 6 upfield near the 47-yard line. That could be a first down for the Red Raiders at the 47, and it appears that it is. Again, Day Brown nursing an ankle injury again. Dinkins back in the ball game out of the slot. Quick handoff. And on a second down and 3, the Red Raiders get the first down.
Well, and Robert Lee has a lot of guys that can carry the football. Dinkins being one of those guys, and that's a great job by the offensive line on the inside handoff to pick up the first down.
$1:45 to go here in the third quarter. Robert E. Lee trailing 21-14 here at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium to DeSoto, but the Red Raiders, after stopping DeSoto on a 4th and 6, have moved it out near midfield. Wagner, slot right, 2 receivers and 1 back behind him, hands the ball off coming this way. Aaron Myers across the 50 for a gain of right at 5 yards on that first down carry for senior tailback Aaron Myers, 5'11", 189. Myers came into play tonight as the second leading rusher on the Red Raider team. He was at 265, averaging about 13 yards a carry, much of it that 168-yard game against Abilene. He's looking tonight much like he did that night.
That's absolutely right, but credit the offensive line as well, and that's, again, good job on first down when you get 4 yards.
They mark him merely a 4-yard gain to the 49, so call it second down and 6. Mosley to the left. The Red Raiders have not been getting the ball to wide receivers. This might be a great time to at least think about that with Dinkins in a slot right. This time Wagner hands the ball inside to Dinkins. He bounces off a tackler and picks up a yard, maybe 2. Almost got free, almost busted it outside, but Byron Hudson, the defensive end, made the tackle. Gain of 2, it'll be 3rd and 4.
Well, and the lead blockers actually slowed Dinkins down, couldn't find an opening. He was lucky to get the positive yardage.
25 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Red Raiders trailing by 7, but in DeSoto territory. Play clock, by the way, is off. The Red Raiders don't have to run a play here before the end of the third quarter. There was wind earlier this afternoon, not blowing much now here. Third down with 7 seconds left, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. The Red Raiders will not try to run a play. After 3, Robert E. Lee trailing 20. Well, did they get a timeout before the end of the third quarter? Third quarter's over. Robert E. Lee trailing 21-14 to DeSoto on KTBB FM. Back at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium for the fourth quarter. Red Raiders trail by 7, and they're looking to throw deep. They got a man out there, caught at the 20. Inside the 20-yard line, it's Henry McEwen with a first down at the DeSoto 18-yard line. How about that play-action fake by Robert E. Lee's Luke Wagner and Henry McEwen with the catch and a first down.
Well, and McEwen was open for a long time, and Wagner finally got him the football. Good job by the quarterback to recognize the receiver and get it in his hands.
Okay, so on a second down and short, the Red Raiders go deep to Henry McEwen. And the Robert E. Lee Red Raiders are in business at the 18-yard line. McEwen is a senior, listed as a tight end. You could also call him an H-back. Double tight ends this time. Myers, the lone setback, hand the ball off to him. Tries to cut it inside to the 16, down to the 15 for a gain of 3. Tough running by senior Aaron Myers, but a positive gain behind the right side of that offensive line.
That was an outstanding third quarter for Robert E. Lee. They kept DeSoto's offense on the sideline, and they're carrying that over to the fourth quarter. Good job by Lee's offense.
21-14, DeSoto leads as we open the fourth period here at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. Lee won last week over Mesquite. DeSoto leads, but Robert E. Lee, after a slow start tonight, has come on, and they're playing a fine football game. Huffstickler and Mosley make that Ross to the near side. Under center, far hash mark going right to left. Wagner on 2nd down and 7. Offset backfield, draw play. Hands the football off inside the 10-yard line. Fighting for yardage down to about the 8. Goes Aaron Myers again. No, Quintus Wallace, the freshman. Wallace not running like a freshman. That's a tough run inside the 10-yard line. And depending on where they spot it, it could be 1st and goal Robert E. Lee.
Well, once again, Lee has a lot of guys that can carry the football. They all have their own way of doing it, but they can all carry it, and they carry it well. Good job by Wallace.
And so it's 1st and goal, Robert E. Lee at the 8. Red Raiders trying to tie the football game. Again, DeSoto's been averaging 44 points a game, nearly 600 yards of total offense, hanging big numbers on other teams, but not here tonight against Robert E. Lee. And the Red Raiders knocking at the door trying to tie the game. It's 1st and goal at the 8 inside 11 minutes to go in regulation. They send a receiver, Mosley, out to the near side. Slot left, McEwen. Tight end lined up right. Offset backfield. Hand the ball off to Aaron. Make that LaQuintus Wallace to the 5. He breaks the tackle. Touchdown! Touchdown, LaQuintus Wallace, the Robert E. Lee freshman, with his first touchdown, and the Red Raiders cut it to 1.
Well, they carried the momentum over from the third quarter. They've got it going offensively once again. A great job of running the football. He should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, able to break a tackle and get into the end zone.
How about that, Jeff? A little excitement on that Red Raiders sideline.
Absolutely. LaQuintus Wallace is fired up for his first touchdown. Go back to that 3rd and 4th play call on the play action pass after Lee was running the ball so well. What a great call to set up this score.
Sperry to tie the game. The kick is up, and it's a new ball game. The Red Raiders and the DeSoto Eagles are tied at 21 on KTBB FM. That was a 78-yard drive by Robert E. Lee after stopping DeSoto on a 4th down and 6. The Red Raider defense does its job, and then the offense with a great drive that time.
Outstanding once again, keeping DeSoto's offense on the sideline. They had a close ball game a year ago. DeSoto able to pull it out late. We got another tough one here tonight.
Last year it was 27-22. DeSoto scored late. Here's Robert E. Lee's kick. It is short and near side, taken by Darius Terrell in coverage downfield at the 37-yard line. Gilbert Sutton, Hayden Tomlinson in on the play. So it'll be 1st down for DeSoto. And again, their offense, which has piled up some huge numbers this year, has not been able to get it done in the second half so far. They had 256 in the first half. But in the second half so far, the Eagles have been shut out. Throughout the third quarter, they misfired. They drove the ball on their last possession, but stalled out at the 19-yard line. And now Ryan Polite, their junior quarterback, has them out there. Marcus Murphy is back in the ballgame. He's a fine tailback, a senior. They go with 4 wides and a 1-back set. Red Raiders with 3 down linemen. And they snap the ball, hand the ball to Murphy. Looking left, he's behind a big offensive line, and he picks up 10, 11 yards out to about the 49-yard line before Robert E. Lee finally makes the tackle over there. Marvin Gray, check that, number 14 for Robert E. Lee that time is Ladero Smith, the rover, the sophomore, with a tackle, but that's an 11-yard gain for Murphy.
Well, they found a way to get Murphy back in the ball game as it has tightened up since he's been on the sideline, so he found a way to get their leading rusher back on the field.
Yeah, Murphy again, one of those guys who has piled up big numbers, 1,287 and 17 touchdowns last year. Had a 100-yard rushing day against Lee and caught the winning pass. 1st down at their own 49-yard line. 4 wide, 1-back shotgun. Jimerson's back in there. They put a man in motion. Back to pass, Polite on 1st down. He's looking. He's flushed out. He's going to have to throw on the run, get rid of the ball. It's incomplete at the 42. Great pressure. And he winds up on his backside. Damian Morgan, number 26 in there. He's playing in place of Blake Roberts tonight at the weak side linebacker, and he got great rush that time.
Well, pressure and coverage, nowhere to go with the football. He basically had to throw it away.
So with 9:56 to go in the fourth quarter, it's a 2nd down and 10 for DeSoto at their own 49-yard line. Again, the Red Raiders have gone with 3 down linemen most of the night, And they hand the ball off, looking left all night long. Murphy this time down the far sideline, has the first down inside the 40. Red Raiders play with 3 down linemen. A lot of times they'll have their linebackers also up on the line of scrimmage. That has not been the case tonight. Patrick Howard with a bruised ankle. Akeem Holly, Josh Williams, and Ubong David. But most of the time, Kevin, they've not had their backers up on the line of scrimmage. Sometimes, but not all the time. This time they do much of the same thing, drop their linebackers into coverage, and they hand the ball off to Murphy for a short gain on first down to the 35-yard line. Austin Wilson in on that tackle for Robert E. Lee. So the Red Raiders force a second down and 7 into the game for Robert E. Lee. Also comes Mitchell Moorhead, who's getting some time at end tonight. Moorhead is a 6', 180-pound junior. 2nd and 7 at about the 36-yard line. Shotgun snap Polite. He's going to throw a little slant down there, and it's completed for a first down to the Red Raider 19-yard line to Sam Ajala. Ajala came into play tonight also as one of the district's leading receivers. He had 17 catches among the top 10 in the district, and that time that little out route to Ajala. Can't cover everybody, and it's a first down at the 18-yard line.
That's good recognition by their quarterback. He saw the cushion by the defensive back for Robert E. Lee, took advantage of it. Just a short pass and let the receiver do the rest of the work.
All right, the 3-man line, 3 linebackers and a rover. Now they blitz, and they'll hand the ball off to Murphy, and this time Murphy's at the 10, near the 10-yard line. Helmets fly, and they tackle him maybe just short of the 10 as Akeem Holly in on that tackle. Marcus Murphy, though, pops him for about a 7-yard gain. It'll be second down.
Yeah, Devin rushing was good for DeSoto. Marcus Murphy is better.
Yeah.
So they're going right back to the guy since they've got him in the game.
3 receivers split left. They go with a quick no huddle. Hand the ball off to Murphy again. Murphy down to the 7. Or check that about the 8-yard line, close to a first down. John Paul Kemp in on the tackle with 8:18 to go in the fourth quarter in a tie ball game. Boy, DeSoto going right back down the field. They are tough to stop. And there's a timeout momentarily while they measure here, I think. Or at least take a look and eyeball the first down marker over there.
And they're still eyeballing. They give them the first down.
First and goal. Next week, Robert E. Lee will be on the road at Mesquite Horn. Boy, wouldn't it be great to go in with a 2-0 district record into that game. All right, first and goal at about the 8-yard line. Ball right in the middle of the field. 3 receivers split left. Here's a draw play to Murphy, looking to get outside. They string it out well. Let's see if they can make the play, and they do at the 9-yard line. Strung out beautifully by the Robert E. Lee defense. Josh Williams among those to make that. Austin Wilson among those to get over there to make the tackle. But there were a host of Red Raiders. Ubong David, along with Gilbert Sutton and others in on that tackle over there, and you can't play that particular play much better than that. Yeah. Loss of a yard, second and goal at the 9.
Red Raiders never allowed him to turn it upfield. That's great pursuit by Robert E. Lee.
And so they put 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. In fact, double slot, 1 back shotgun. Second and goal at the 9. Will Robert E. Lee blitz here? Yes, they will. They'll bring it. Polite looking to throw. He throws downfield, and it's caught by Porter at the 3-yard line. Spins down to the goal line. Is he there? No indication yet. Very close. I think his knee was down at about the 1. Second effort almost got him into the end zone. He will be instead at the lip of the cup.
Yeah. Outstanding play by their quarterback, Polite, to find a receiver late, get him the football. They almost scored a touchdown.
7 minutes to go in the football game, and it's a third and goal at the 1. Here's Marcus Murphy. He is in. Touchdown. Marcus Murphy scores the touchdown for DeSoto. They regain the lead.
Again, that's a great job by their offense, the best offense in the district. Robert E. Lee had done a pretty good job here in the second half. Not the case on that possession.
That's about a 63-yard drive with Murphy coming back off the bench after being injured early. It's 27-21 in favor of the guys from DeSoto, and the extra point by Contreras would make it a 7-point game. Polite, by the way, is the holder. The kick is on the way, and it is good. 6:54 left to play. DeSoto 28, Robert E. Lee 21. Back after this timeout. 63-yard touchdown drive by the DeSoto Eagles. Marcus Murphy from 1 yard out, and it's 28-21. As the ball teed up to be kicked, it'll be high and medium depth this time. Will be taken by Hayden Tomlinson at about the 23-yard line, and Tomlinson upfield, almost a face mask call that time at the 24-yard line. Sure looked like Jimerson.
I thought it was a face mask, yeah.
Moved his hand across the mask. Guess he didn't grab it, but instead Robert E. Lee will have decent field position at about the 34.
I like the way Tomlinson caught the football and got upfield. He didn't try to take it around the end there. Just get upfield and get what you can. Good job by Tomlinson.
Hayden Tomlinson has scored a touchdown tonight on a 20-yard run. And now Robert E. Lee will take over. 6:49 left in the fourth quarter. They're down 7. They've outscored DeSoto here in the second half. And now under center, Wagner with a slot left. Put a man in motion, Dinkins. Hand the ball off to Tomlinson. Cuts right, moves upfield. Nice little move at the line of scrimmage to pick up some yardage out near the 39-yard line. He gained about 4.5 yards on that little run.
Yeah, good tough run for good yardage on first down. Now this DeSoto defense has given up some points. They're giving up about 26 points a game. So Robert E. Lee has finally found a way to put some points on the scoreboard, and they've looked good ever since.
Yeah, again, Robert E. Lee fell behind 13-0. This game was looking kind of ugly early. But once the Red Raider defense settled down, this became a game, and the offense has stepped up. Tomlinson to the right, Dinkins to the left. Wagner with one set back, it's Aaron Myers. And a receiver raw split to the right side. They hand the ball to Dinkins, and he fell down. I'm not sure if he tripped over Wagner or what, but I think he tripped over somebody, and he's not sure. Down at the 35-yard line is what happened.
Now he's looking for answers himself. He's pointing at everybody on the offense, wondering who tripped him up. We do know it was the lead player bad break for the Red Raiders.
3rd and 9 then, and that is a tough break because now the Red Raiders are back in a situation where they didn't thrive in the first half. 3rd and long. Now they are a good screen pass team, but you know DeSoto knows that as well. And let's see what the Red Raiders come up with here on a 3rd and 9 at their own 35-yard line. Again, time starting to become a factor with about 5:25 left to play in regulation, and DeSoto leading. 2 receivers split right. They have a tight end, an offset backfield, play action. Wagner flushed out of the pocket. Luke throws downfield. He is throwing the ball to Tomlinson, and they had him shielded off. Incomplete. Tomlinson looking for a possible flag, but there really wasn't much contact there for a flag to be thrown on. The ball was a little bit underthrown considering the situation. Alex Lyons, number 40, was the nearest DeSoto Eagle to the ball.
Yeah, and the Eagles also had good coverage, actually double coverage of Wagner. Actually, luckily, that ball wasn't intercepted. They had that one well played, and they'll force a punt.
And so Robert E. Lee, with 5:13 to go, they're going to ask their defense to get them first of all, to stop DeSoto and get them the ball back at least one more time in a 7-point game. Need a big kick here, and a flag is down. This one's going to be against DeSoto. I think they had too many men on the field there as they were lining up. Looks like that's just a guess here.
And they got the timeout.
They got a timeout
before
that all happened.
Right.
So that timeout saved a 5-yard penalty, as they did not have, they may not have had their full 11 men out on the field, but whatever it was, they burned one of their 3 timeouts left, and with 5:13 to go, we'll keep it here. The scoreboard show coming up tonight at about 10:30. We'll recap a lot of action in East Texas, including John Tyler's lead over Mesquite. Longview and Marshall are playing tonight. There are many other great games in the area, and we'll try to tell you about as many of those as we can. Here, 28-21, DeSoto leads. Red Raiders defensively playing without 3 starters. Ben George, Patrick Howard, Blake Roberts, all injured. They hope to have Roberts back quickly. Patrick Howard quickly. Ben George, questionable. He has a hip injury. Told me before the game tonight that he's going to try to be back for the final regular season game, which would be a little quicker than the original projections. And that would be great. Now, Brady Jones leads the district. He's had one short punt tonight, but by and large has been very consistent, over 40 yards a kick so far this year. And they need a big kick out of him right now, Kevin.
They do. And again, not only a good kick, but the defense is going to be forced to make another stop. They were not able to do it the last time DeSoto had the football.
DeSoto's return man is Vincenetti, and he will be standing back at about the 31-yard line. As again, look for Jones to air this one out if possible. Here comes the rush. His rugby kick is a nice end-over-end kick, and they kick it right. And this ball will take a nice lead roll and bounce inside the 20-yard line. That is very effective. At the 15 to the 14-yard line, when that ball rolls out of bounds. Well done that time by Brady Jones, who has been a weapon for the Red Raiders this year. 4:59 to go. Robert E. Lee with 2 timeouts left. The defense's job now is to get off the field.
Got to get him out and get him out in a hurry to give their offense any chance at getting the tying score. The defense has played well tonight. They'll need to do it here.
So from the 15-yard line, where the ball actually rolled out of bounds, the Red Raiders get ready to try and play a little D. LaDarrell Smith runs onto the field. Red Raiders again with that 3-man front. Linebackers playing about 4 yards back. Desoto in a 1-back shotgun with 4 wide receivers. Snap it to Polite. Hand the ball off to Murphy. Oh, nice move to the outside and a run upfield. That's not what they had in mind. He picks up 13 out to the 29-yard line. Made a heck of a cutback right at the line of scrimmage, and he did it quickly to the left and gets 13 yards where there really wasn't much in the middle where the play was originally designed to go.
Yeah, bounced it outside. The guy's got another gear. Once he makes that move, he's up the field in a hurry, and by the time the Red Raiders caught up to him, he's already had the first down.
At the 29-yard line, shotgun snap, hand the ball off to Murphy. Again, they're trying to burn clock, and there goes Murphy. Big hole across the 50. And unless they can figure out a way to stop this guy, this is going to be a long ending for Robert E. Lee. Browning makes the tackle, but the Red Raiders have struggled since Murphy came back in the game.
Well, Murphy took a siesta between the first and fourth quarters, but he's come back with a vengeance. He's been unstoppable for Lee's defense.
And Lee will try to figure it out with a timeout. 4:43 to go. They trail by 7 on KTBB-FM. Red Raiders take a timeout. They have 1 left because, Kevin, if they don't get this stopped, it'll be academic anyway. They've got to stop Marcus Murphy and get off the field defensively, get the offense back out.
Well, absolutely. But again, once Marcus Murphy came back into the ball game, it's a different dimension to their offense. And again, the Red Raiders have not been able to stop him.
And these guys have been averaging nearly 600 yards a game. Murphy's a big part of it. District's second leading rusher behind Jeremy Johnson of John Tyler. First down at the 45-yard line. Keep it on the ground. There goes Murphy again. Murphy picks up 4 right at 5 yards this time to the 40-yard line. He hits the hole quickly, and he's a senior. He knows what to do once he gets across the line of scrimmage. Red Raiders Marvin Gray and Chad Reese on the tackle. 2nd and 5.
Again, too much yardage on first down.
Red Raiders need to get a turnover. DeSoto doesn't have one yet. Here's Murphy again. There he goes again. Breaks a tackle, 30, 25, down to the 24, near the 23. Another first down, another big run. Austin Wilson in on the tackle along with Damian Morgan. And right now, DeSoto is doing exactly what they want to do. Keep it on the ground and watch that clock run.
Well, and it's effortless for Murphy. Just an easy jog through the lead defense for a first down.
All right, so it's first down at the 24-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Murphy's in the backfield. And a shotgun for Ryan Polite. Polite has a touchdown run himself tonight. Near side, the short side, they're going left to right here in the 4th period. Lee blitzes, handoff Murphy. Oh, he gets into the secondary again. It's another first down to the 12-yard line. Red Raiders trying to fill that hole, but Murphy is there so quickly that Red Raiders really not having much time to react right now. It's a first down to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, the Red Raiders are loading up the line of scrimmage. It has not made a difference here on this possession.
Well, this is a championship caliber drive right now for DeSoto, the way to put a game away. Ball right in the middle of the field. They've got a tight end left. Hand the ball off to Murphy again. He's hit at the line of scrimmage this time and dropped at the 12 by Robert E. Lee's Austin Sperling, the junior linebacker. Well done that time. Well, he'll get about a yard that time, but Sperling made a nice play. 3:20 to go.
Yeah, that's a play that Sperling had to make. If not, he's got some running room. Great job by Sperling.
2nd down and 9 at about the 11-yard line. DeSoto trying to put this thing away. Murphy and Polite in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. They keep an extra gap on the line of scrimmage here. A tackle lined up this time as a tight end to the right. Polite taking his time with 2:57 left to play. Shotgun snap, hand to Murphy again, looking to get outside. There we go. He takes a big hit, and the ball is fumbled on the sideline. The Red Raiders may have it. Oh, Murphy got smacked. And if it's inbounds, it's Robert E. Lee's ball. What a huge hit on the edge over there. The question is, did the Red Raiders recover? I think whatever happened, it's inbounds. But Murphy just got nailed at the 10-yard line, and the ball popped out of there.
And it is
it's Robert E. Lee's ball. How about that? Austin Sperling, I think, came out of there with that one. Kevin, I'm not sure who made the hit,
but
Sperling
hit
with the recovery.
Well, it stopped him cold, and it took a while for Murphy to get on his feet, and that's a great job by the Lee defense. They got tired of seeing Murphy run up and down the field on him. Great job by Lee's defense.
Jeff, did you see who made the hit down there for the Red Raiders?
I did not, but it certainly it looked like it came from that right cornerback position.
First down at the 15-yard line. Now Robert E. Lee with a timeout left, 2:46. They get the ball back. We ask for a turnover, and they get it. The first of the night. Murphy fumbles at the 15, and Luke Wagner out of the shotgun. He puts a man in motion. Back to pass, looking to throw the pass over to Tomlinson on that long bubble screen to the near side. That it's well overthrown, probably just as well.
Right.
That play had no chance. Had Tomlinson even caught the ball, it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Now, good call. He's not going to get much even if he catches the football, and it just sails out of bounds. And Lee will see what they can do here on 2nd down.
Trying to throw that ball back. What do you call that play? Call it a bubble screen along the other side of the field? Would you call it something else?
That all sounds good to me.
It sounds good to me, yeah. But a throwback again to the wide side of the field to Hayden Tomlinson. A lot of times they throw that pass play to the wide receiver on that screen to the short side of the field. You see it quite a bit. 2nd down and 10 at the 15. They put Myers in motion, offset backfield. Play action again. Luke Wagner looking to throw the screen. Does to Myers, and he is undressed at the 11-yard line. Oh, he caught the ball and then had his head chopped off by Delonte Askew. Boy, I'll tell you what, that was a big play by Myers and by Askew. Myers to simply hang on to the ball, and Askew, who almost decapitated Aaron Myers on that tackle. It's a loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Yeah, Myers didn't get any blocking, any help on that play. They kind of hung him out there to dry, and he took a shot for it.
2 minutes left to play in regulation. Myers to the near side. 3 receivers split right. 3rd and long for Robert E. Lee. They'll have to use 2 plays here. They'll have to go for it on 4th down. Back to pass. Wagner flushed out. He's got a little running room upfield. Throws the ball deep downfield, and it's overthrown at the 40. Oh, baby. Myers was open that time, and Wagner throwing a nice ball downfield on the run, about 50 yards in the air, just overthrows Wagner. If he catches the ball, we're tied.
That's touchdown. That's a pretty good pass by Wagner, just out of his reach, not by much, but just off the fingertips, and Lee almost had a big play.
So it's now 4th and 13, and here's your ball game. The Red Raiders 4th and 13 at their own 12-yard line. Have to convert this to even consider anything else. They're 88 yards away from tying the game. But first things first, 4th and 13. 3 wides. They have a tight end in the game. Shotgun snap. Wagner steps up. Luke looking to throw. He's sacked at the 5-6 yard line, and that'll do it. Oh, the ball pops out. And really won't really matter. Now it's picked up, and Bryce Brawley has the thing. And he's running, and he's still short of the first. No, that's Bryce Brawley at the 21. You know what? He got within 5 yards of that. Wagner actually fumbled that ball forward, not on purpose either, I don't think. And Brawley picked it up and was running with it.
And looked good running it. It almost picked up the first down. Not enough, though, and the Red Raiders will have to turn it over.
Oh, for a moment, though, Brawley had a little running room.
Well, he picked it up and took off with it, and now the referees are huddling at about the 15-yard line. Not sure what they're talking about.
Again, Brawley's run not nearly enough for the first down. Still about 4 or 5 yards short. Question is, do they think forward lateral? The Red Raiders are reacting as if this might be something against Desoto here. Jeff, help us out on this one.
The only thing I can think this might be is could there be a possible tripping call on the tackle? looked like perhaps the DeSoto defender, in an effort to try to prevent the first down on an awkward play, may have stuck his leg out and perhaps caused a trip. But there you go.
Well, there's a long discussion, whatever it is.
There's no penalty flag on the field, so the likelihood of it being that is probably slim.
Well, the crew down there, headed by Gene Malloy, are talking about this, and right now they don't look like they are quite sure exactly what's going to transpire. I know Claude Mathis, the coach at DeSoto, standing out along the far hash mark, and let's see if they can sort this out. Ball's at the 21-yard line. The Red Raider offense hasn't left the field. Jeff, what do they say? I can't hear him from up here.
Two fumbles on the play. I didn't catch the tail.
And Robert E. Lee gets a first down out of this.
Whatever it is, Lee gets the first down.
Okay, 2 fumbles on the play, meaning a fumble and a possession change.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That's what it is.
And then Robert E. Lee then recovers the second fumble, which automatically you erase the downs, and Robert E. Lee gets the ball. They call 2 fumbles that time. The first fumble that Robert E. Lee recovers changes possessions, and then they get the first down because they recovered the second fumble.
Well, a big break for Robert
E.
Lee. Now, they've got to make something happen here. When you get that kind of a break, things might be looking up for Robert E. Lee.
All right. Again, one fumble sort of erases. Basically, it's a free ball and a new set of downs when you recover the second one. And so Robert E. Lee gets the first down out of this at the 21-yard line because there were 2 fumbles on that play. Did DeSoto also recover that one, Jeff? What do you think?
Bill, I just finished talking with the line judge over here, and that's exactly what happened. They're claiming that DeSoto actually recovered the first fumble. There was a change of possession.
And then fumbled it again.
So anything that happened at that point is a new possession.
And so Brawley then picks up the second fumble. That gives the ball back to Lee. And now Gene Malloy is explaining that to Claude Mathis, who I'm sure is in disbelief over there. He probably is not buying it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to take anything the referee, the official, has to say to him at this point.
Okay, so DeSoto recovered the Luke Wagner fumble, and then they lost it right back to Bryce Brawley, who, when he recovered, that was an entirely new possession. Lee still has 79 yards to cover. They're at their own 21, so they do have the ball, but they've got a long way to go. They got a timeout with 1:32 to go. But maybe weird things are happening 2 weeks before Halloween here at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. Shotgun, 1 back, 4 wides this time. Snap to Wagner, 3-man rush. Luke steps up, flushed out. He's going to run upfield, 25, 30. Wagner upfield to the 35-yard line. That's a first down for Robert E. Lee at the 36. Luke Wagner getting pats on the back from the guys along the near sideline. And a first down for Robert E. Lee on a 16-yard run by Luke Wagner.
A good decision by the quarterback. They don't respect the fact that he can take off with the football, just dropping in the coverage. Good decision to get upfield, get the first down, and then get out of bounds.
Saves him a timeout, $1:24 to go. Robert E. Lee has 64 yards to cover, down 7. Shotgun, 1 back, 4 wide, near hash, going right to left. Low snap, picks it up, bubble screen near side, completes it to Aaron Myers. Myers taken down at the 37 after a 1-yard gain. Now they may have to burn that timeout with $1:15 to go. Robert E. Lee will use their final timeout. On a 2nd and 9, they got the ball at the 37-yard line. They're down 28-21. Wow.
Yeah, that one was not a good play because of the short pass for minimal yardage. He stayed in bounds as well, so they had to use the timeout.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification as you listen to Robert E. Lee High School football.
45-10, John Tyler, 4th quarter.
Okay. (28-21), DeSoto leads Robert E. Lee here. 1:15 left to play. Red Raiders with the ball, 2nd and 9 at their own 37. JT has a 45-10 lead at Mesquite tonight. Very similar to Lee's score last week before Mesquite picked up a couple of late touchdowns.
The second team came in.
So very similar games, at least it sounds like, in terms of scores. 2nd and 9. Red Raiders, though, are out of timeouts, and they have to score a touchdown to send this game possibly to overtime. Dennis Edwards split wide to the right. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. No tight end. Shotgun snap. Here comes a 5-man rush. Throw the middle screen. Ball caught by Robert E. Lee at the 40. That's Myers upfield to the 43-yard line and out of bounds. He's still short of the first down. It's still about 3rd down and 3, but that's positive yardage, and better yet, he got out of bounds with 1:07 to go.
Well, that's a good catch by Myers. It was a little bit out of his reach, but he was able to run it down and get out of bounds. Big play here for Robert E. Lee.
Hey, Red Raiders hanging tough here. Luke Wagner playing himself a pretty good football game tonight, showing a little poise. Knock on Luke earlier on was that he might panic occasionally and make bad plays, but not bad decisions the last 3 or 4 weeks. Good job. 3rd and 2, quarterback sneak for the first down. Now they'll have to hurry. That'll stop the clock with Robert E. Lee getting the first down. Mosley comes over, gets the play from the coaches, takes it in. The clock will restart here with 1:03 to go as soon as Gene Malloy is ready. Red Raiders may want to spike this ball here in a moment, but they are wasting no time getting ready. Malloy will signal them ready for play, and the clock will start. It does. With first down, back to pass. He throws the bubble screen to the far side. It's completed over there to Myers, and he's going to run out of bounds. He had nowhere to go, and that's a smart play. He had nowhere to go, so instead of fighting for a couple, he runs to the boundary line at the 42-yard line to save the time. It'll be 2nd down and about 15.
Yeah, and Lee is going to have to start throwing the football downfield. The swing passes have not worked in this possession. It's cost them timeouts and yardage. They lose about 5 on that play. Got to throw the football downfield with 54 seconds left.
Remember, we said earlier that Lee has not been getting the ball to their wideouts. Their passing game has been pretty much
anemic.
Yeah,
well, pretty good?
Kind of dink and dunk to the backs and people like that. But they need to get the ball downfield. 2nd down at the 43-yard line. Now Wagner back to pass again. Only 2 guys rushing, and now Luke's throwing the deep ball down the near sideline. Dinkins goes up, and it's intercepted at the 20-yard line. Coming back the other way, here comes Desoto. They're going to win the football game if they can hang on. That is Vincent Eddy with the interception with 40 seconds to go. Dinkins and a jump ball down there. The cornerback had the position, and he made the play, but it has been a pretty gallant effort tonight by Robert E. Lee. -3 defensive starters. The Red Raiders hanging tough tonight with a chance here at the end of the game, but in the end, that turnover will turn it back to DeSoto, and with Lee out of timeouts, run 1 play, maybe 2, and this will be over.
Outstanding effort by Robert E. Lee on paper. This game probably shouldn't have been close. Lee actually gave themselves a chance to tie this thing up at the end of the ball game. So great second half by the Red Raiders.
Well, Robert E. Lee gets the ball not quite to midfield on that final drive, but the interception by Vincent Eddy probably seals the deal here. Polite in a shotgun this time will take the snap out of the shotgun, which is kind of unusual, and take a knee with 40 seconds left to play. The play clock down to 30 seconds left on the clock. Play clock hasn't started. I don't think the DeSoto Eagles are going to have to take another snap. In fact, they will not. Play clock has not even started. 20 seconds left. This football game is over. Robert E. Lee will fall to 1-1 in district play with a game at Mesquite Horn next week. Red Raiders put up a good fight tonight. This is a good football game after a slow start, but the Red Raiders are going to lose tonight to the DeSoto Eagles by a score of 28-21. DeSoto will be back at the end of the regular season to this very stadium to play John Tyler. Game ends with DeSoto winning it 28-21 here at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. Again, a nice effort by both teams tonight, and the Red Raiders coming very close to pulling off what some would consider to be a little bit of an upset tonight as the players and coaches shake hands here at the stadium. This thing finally comes to an end. Interesting matchup tonight, Kevin.
Well, a great ball game. Again, I don't think anybody expected the game to be played this closely. Lee got off to a slow start, but fought back, hung in there, and gave themselves a chance to tie this game up at the end. It's obvious to us that Lee is improving each week.
All right, Coach Owen standing by with Jeff Wood. Jeff.
Coach, obviously a disappointing loss, but you got to be proud of the way your guys played tonight.
Well, they played hard, but we try to play to win, and we had some opportunities, and, it just didn't work out for us, I guess. But, we've got to keep our heads up, and we've still got something to play for. I mean, we were in exactly this situation last year, and we won the last 3. So that's what we got to try to do is win the next one and then the one after that. So we're still in this hunt for the playoff, and And if somebody knocks off one of these guys, we might still be in the race for the district title. So I'm proud of the way they played, but we do need to win. We really do.
Do you think this the way you played tonight against a quality team, you knew what kind of team you had coming in? Do you think your performance tonight kind of says, hey, to the rest of the district, we may be a little bit more than folks are giving us credit for?
Well, I knew we were a lot better football team than what we had, our record indicated, but, we played some great football teams. So, and we've been in or close to in just about every one of them. So, we get a couple things going our way, we'll be all right. But we got to keep our heads up and keep playing.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks to Jeff Wood and Coach Mike Owens. Again, the Red Raiders fall tonight in a tight one as it turned out, 28-21 to the Desoto Eagles. Robert E. Lee falling to 1-1 in district play. They go to Mesquite Horn coming up next week. Desoto is now 2-0 in the district and 6-1 on the season. Good football game tonight, but the Red Raiders come up a tad short. Desoto 28, Robert E. Lee 21.
Thanks for watching Robert E. Lee Football, presented by TISD and Sunlink Media.